I've got blue souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Count my bones as in desert crumbs bloom. I'm gonna turn all of my stones.
Rock bottom make the man and some pressure make a gemstone. Trying to put $1 to my name like Creflo. Naja boy, late to the game, it's in the blood flow. And I'm from the south, it's thick skin and tough bone. Big attitude through big lips with gusto. Trust no kings, that's why they tried to crush souls. But it's IGBO, when the dust blow, this old head be standing there. No silver, just gold. Crack no books on the hustle, I was born to grind. Yo, scared of your potential, I'm adorned with mine. 30 times around the sun, man, of course I shine. My legacy will not dwarf with time. And in my daughter's eyes, it's basic, I must not say quit. Every day sees a present like a Rob St. Nick. Walk a fine line between tenacious and patient. I can't slip, I'm fighting clocks and they can't win.
I've got blue souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Count my bones as in desert crumbs flow. I'm gonna turn all of my stones. I've got blue souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Who that soldier in the mirror? Oh, oh. I'm gonna turn all of my stones.
Impeccably I flow, hardest raps you know, breaking status quo, reaping what I sow, artistry like Van Gogh. Get it from my mama, hip so thick that I need tempo. Personality, spicy body banging like a bongo. Cause black women been it since Timbuktu, since Pharaoh. Sponge rollers and hot combs, lips, cheeks and brow bones. If you ain't for the culture, then please stay out of my zone. These little dummy rappers could never grace like headphones. See, I'm from a place in space where ain't no storytelling, you just had to have been there. If you want the battle, ain't no problem, say where. I got so much experience, I can't even play fair. But I'ma keep evolving and growing and hurting feelings and showing. You need endurance to go in, I got mileage on this pen. I've been busy cause I've been out here schooling all these kids. Took 3 decades to have this glow up that I did.
I've got blue souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Count my bones as in desert crumbs flow. I'm gonna turn all of my stones. I've got blue souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Who that soldier in the mirror? Oh, oh. I'm gonna turn all of my stones. All of my
Auckland.
you guys were checking shoes last night to see if he was barefoot. Is that still the case? Is he barefoot? Because I know on Facebook somebody posted a picture of these could be his shoes, or is that so he is presumed to be barefoot at this point?
What I can say is that his mom says all of his shoes are accounted for at the house. I'm not going to say that he's barefoot.
All right.
Allegedly!
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here coming at you with another raw narrative. Here's a brief disclaimer for tonight's show. Let's watch.
That's ignorant! Allegedly, that's ignorant! Ignorant.
Judgment, Alfred.
Oi, you read my thoughts. You've got the shinin.
You mean shining?
Shh, you wanna get sued?
Judgment, Alfred.
You just use that shin of yours to call me and I'll come a-running. But don't be reading my mind between 4 and 5. That's Willie's time.
Hey, yo, boss. I love him when he does that.
Let's watch.
Don't get me back to good bullshit.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here coming at you with another raw narrative. And it's so good to see all of you guys tonight. Thank you all so much for being here. I was going to go live last night and I decided to go and watch Molly because I forgot she was going to have two of JLR's ex-girlfriends on the show to speak. They were both with him for a substantial amount of time and said some really interesting and quite honestly wild things about JLR, and the topics were quite wild too, but just things that you would ask an ex, right? Just kind of comparing notes a little bit, but it was interesting. It was interesting. So I wanted to pull it in. Molly put it on a members only, so you will have to become a member of her channel if you want to see like the entire live. But I was taking good notes, and then she also was so nice to put two parts up about what the exes said. So definitely go over and check that out. Um, so tonight, before we get started with that, I do want to switch gears really, really quick to Devlin Tate's case. Um, I was talking with Tamra today, and I've been meaning to reach out to her, and I was glad she reached out to me today. She is funny, she's very blunt, and she makes me laugh a lot of the times, because I'm that way as well. But she said, "Hey, where you been?" Kind of thing to me. And I said, "Oh my gosh, Tam, I've been trying to reach out to you, and every time I go to, something comes up, and I'm sorry about that." And so we were, excuse me, we were talking, and just kind of about Devlin. Devlin Lee Hatfield Tate has been missing from Lake Odessa, Michigan since the morning of April 21st, 2025. He's not been seen or heard from since. Right. We are approaching the year mark. And so Tamara was sharing some of the things that she was working on for Devlin, as well as, her and I just kind of going over like, oh my gosh, Devlin's got a lot of girlfriends. He had a lot of girlfriends at the time. And we were just kind of, talking back and forth about his case, about him, about her missing him. Um, and then, she says, well, I got to do some things, and I go, okay, great, let's talk tomorrow. And she was wanting to come up and talk about Devlin on Tuesday. And then all of a sudden I got a text message from her, and she's like, oh my God, Trisha, I can't breathe. And I was thinking maybe she was having anxiety from our conversation earlier, because we were making each other laugh, and we were making each other cry, and then we tried to make each other laugh again, right? But it was an intense conversation, and so I thought it was that. Well, then she sends me another text message and says that Will was in an incredibly horrible car wreck with his son Christian, and he passed away. And I was like, "Oh my God." And I knew she wasn't joking, but I was like had to read it again. Um so Devlin was living with Tamra, Sabrina, her daughter's boyfriend, Will, who was in this wreck tonight. And Sabrina has a little 3-year-old as well that was living there. And so they had moved out and moved to Lansing, Michigan, right? And so that was their situation. And I'm not sure, because I mostly talked to Tamra. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for the prayers. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Chuchi, Mama. So good to see you guys. Hey, Debbie says what? And Lori, Deanna. Welcome in, you guys. And thank you for being here. So really, really, really sad. I'm going to show you guys the area really quick, where this happened. And I told Jen, because Jen and I have been working on Devlin's case, I mean, from the beginning. Jen did a map on Devlin, and so it's incredibly sad to see this. So police are investigating a bad crash on Saginaw Street and Oakland Avenue that has shut the roadway down between North Grace and Stanley Street. News 10 is actively working to confirm information with police, and that's according to WILX News 10. But this is the accident site. And if you guys will please, please, please pray that Christian makes it through this horrible crash, because I mean, it looks absolutely devastating. And the police are still, investigating it. So just pray for everyone to stay safe at the accident site. Pray for Christian. Pray for Will and his family, Sabrina. Um, it's just very sad. Will just had a birthday. Um, and it's just incredibly sad. He's a young guy. He's not an old man by any means. Um, so it's just a very tragic event. A very tragic event. So, let me go ahead and take that down. Life is so short, and this was absolutely unexpected. But I did want to share that with you guys. Hey, Women's Warrior, thank you. Thank you so much for praying for Christian. Like I said, I will give you guys an update as soon as I know. Hey, Devin, good to see you. And Cinderella, good to see you. Thank you for being here, guys. So yeah, it's just absolutely sad. With it coming up to a year mark, it's just been really, 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 really devastating to know that Devlin's still out there. We're not sure about any new leads because there really hasn't been any movement. Now that the weather is coming into springtime weather, I was hoping that we could get more resources out there. I was really hoping we can get more resources out there. So, oh gosh, Jen. So I need to pull this in. I know I'm gonna say it wrong. I'm gonna have Jen have to come up on the panel sometime and explain this, but I mean it's very self-explanatory. So Jen did add this to Devlin's map, his chart that she has done for him. And she tells me that the wreck energy with Devlin's missing event and this location, and we know that we have Devlin's absolute birth date and birth time. We gave that to Jen. And it says natal Hades in Gemini, conjunct Chronos in Cancer, wait with the communications, at least 2 people, devouring energy, timing with family. So, she really freaked me out before the live because that was what was on his chart. And what Jen does is absolutely nothing short of amazing. And she freaks me out. And I'll tell her this, like, okay, Jen, what the hell? And she's like, where is Seth? Help me out. Because I'm going to tell you what, if you're in here and you're not in here saying yes, I mean, you don't have to stay in chat or you could go back to the bushes, whatever. I need you to come out here. Because, oh my gosh, she gives me goosebumps. And then I'm like, oh my gosh. And so we really need to work these maps, right? Too. It's amazing what we all can bring to the table when it comes to trying to find missing people and trying to figure this stuff out, right? Hey, little Miss Sharon. Sandy, good to see you. Sandy says she was spot on with me. Thank you, Sandy. She said, I hear you. She freaked me out too. I love it. Jen tells me I freak myself out. It's like she said, it's a WTF moment. Cinderella. Oh my goodness. See, that's why I don't go in there. Okay, so I went in there earlier in the bushes talking about, calling people out of the bushes. Yeah, Women's Warrior. Holy shit is right. And I said, she's talking about the war stuff. And then I'm like, I'm gonna just exit out very quietly because I mean it's scary. the predictions or what you can tell from the map is you're predicting it. Jen, that's why I didn't call you. She says, I just realized you were live. Well, you have some explaining to do, Jen. I'm glad you're here. I was trying to call Seth out of the bushes. I'm like, hey, Seth, I need your help. Is it Jen always spot on? Is it Jen? Chuchi says Jen is spot on with her work. She's amazing. That's it. Oh my gosh, Jen. I'm like, you go, girl. I mean, it's amazing to put all of that together, all of the pieces, right? If you don't have that piece, then we don't have the whole puzzle because that's a big part of it, right? Is getting to know who the people are that we're looking for, right? Without us knowing them, they can't tell us, right? So we really have to like dig into the research and find, thank God for social media, like because we can go and look and get their mannerisms. Like this is Bob's Barn where Devlin's up there singing. And I think these are good and recent depictions of what Devlin's mannerisms are and what he likes and who he is. Because that's important, right? Because if we're looking for someone, we need to know where to look. And if they're out there somewhere, they're probably doing a lot of the same things they used to like to do. So, I mean, especially with a young man who we're not sure if he decided to run away or not either. We're dealing with, and this is per law enforcement, right? Kylie says Jen freaks me out too. And Jen says freaks me out too. LOL. That's funny. No, I love that you're able to learn that in such depth too. And the way that you explain it, Jen, is just great, right? I could listen to you forever and just be like, okay, and learning all of these different ways that you're connecting the dots and um well, it's lines even. It's amazing. Hey, Thomas Randall. Well, Lady Freedom, you know that Tina told me about his real mom, so something may be up with that. Well, Thomas, I agree. I agree with what you're saying because part of our conversation, and we'll probably get into it a little bit more if Tamara, I know she'll come up on the panel still. I just don't know if it'll be Tuesday now because of what happened tonight, we just don't know um yet what's going on or how many people are seriously injured. I'm sure based on that wreck that poor Christian is not in good shape, and I'm just praying that he makes it through. um yeah, and I still am curious what happened. I think too with Devlin's bio mom Jessica, I think a big red flag was the registry, or not a registry, but it's more of a, Amazon wish list. There we go. And she was putting adult items on there, and that bothered all of us. I know it did me. Well, for one, because I was, promoting it, and you guys were probably thinking to yourselves when you went over there, like, what? But then then people were telling me about it. I was like, what? Go over there and check. Oh, sure as shit. That's what's going on. Yeah, it's a lot of money, or excuse me, it's a lot for the memory bank. Yeah. Well, and then once you get to know, because right when I saw Hades, I was like, what? And then I was like, all these words popping out. And I'm like, because I'm learning it too, Jen, as I go. Because I think it's interesting, not even learning what you're doing, just learning about how to understand it, right? Like when you're telling us these things, how to understand it, but you do a good job of explaining. So, but I also like to, like, if I was to look at a map and say, okay, this is what this is, right? And what everything signifies. So, his real mom, yeah, I've had her on the show several times, Thomas. Yes, I have a playlist. I need to add some more videos to the playlist. A lot of times I will talk about Devlin and I will talk about Sebastian. So that's why I didn't only want to put them in either playlist, but I need to maybe make a playlist for that because there's a lot of comparisons, a lot of similarities in Sebastian's case. Um, but Devlin was way more out in the world, right? And he's a little older. So, but same chromosome deletion syndrome, and also the autism spectrum disorder. So those things are, when they go out of their routine, it's always a red flag for any of us, I think, but especially for someone who's routine driven. Devlin was nonverbal and going to the store was out of his norm. No, that was his norm. That was his normal thing that he would do. He definitely had a routine. He definitely had routes that he would take, right? That he would routinely take. Hey Jeff, good to see ya. So yeah, I mean, it's odd to say the least that Devlin has not called or popped up at anybody's house because that was Devlin. He liked to go over and say hi to people. He liked to go over and pop in and be like, "Hey, how you doing?" Regularly. He liked to go to Bob's. He likes music. If he was somewhere, the guy at Bob's Barn told the news last time, like, "Hey, if you're gonna find Devlin, you need to look someplace where there's music because that's what he loves." So where the wreck happened is about two with family. Thank you, Jen. Communications. Wonder if there was a phone in the hand of the driver. Oh, okay. Okay, so thank you, Jen. See, that's what I mean about interpreting it. So, because I was thinking communications for something else, I guess. Wow. Okay, so maybe he was texting and driving or something like that. Wow, that's interesting. Jen is amazing. Aw, Jeff. Jeff says Jen is amazing and I get to see it on a regular basis. Aw, Jeff, I know, right? I mean, but do you get scared? Are you like, don't tell me, Jen? Like that's something sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I want to know. Hello, Andrea. So I know that some other people feel that way too. I won't say names, but Jen and I have talked about it. Uh, Women's Warrior says, Lady Freedom, I think she was just pushing her luck and taking people's kindness for weakness, manipulation, which is very silly as we are a wonderful community and she wouldn't find better help than here. Amen for that, Women's Warrior. That's a part of my frustration, right? And I was like, and the more that I was finding holes in Jessica's story, I was finding more truth on Tamara's side, right? And Tamara and I talked about that even today. We were just both like, hey, we had to build trust with each other. We don't know each other. And, guys, I'm from the same area as they are. Like, they're in Michigan, but I grew up in Chicago. So I'm right there. We're kind of a lot of the similarities where we're like, I don't trust people right away, like, so we were like both like, and I told her too, we looked at the family hard, right? In the beginning, we were going from like Devlin out, right? So mom, everybody. I mean, even Kiki worked Devlin's case with me, and we're like, the next step is talking to his bio mom, right? Let's see what she has to say. And then she made it seem like she didn't have anybody let her tell her story, but she had somebody. So that was interesting too. But I know that was something that was suspicious to everyone when she did that, And they could have been items for herself. And now the last thing that I know about that is her also I'm not sure her due date, but she is supposed to be having a baby soon. Well, 9 months from a couple months ago. So I guess she's probably 3 months along, I would guess. Yeah. Oh yeah, Devlin's way verbal. Like, he goes out and he's a talker. He would call people all the time. He'd call Sandra, who was his adoptive mom, right? All the time. Excuse me. Jen, Jen, thank you for gifting 5 Lady Freedoms Narratives memberships. And if you got a membership, please say thank you to Jen. Thank you, Jen. Well, now we got 5 new members of the Dragon Tribe. Good to see you, Miriam. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Sorry, guys, I didn't do my usual. I was pretty shocked. I mean, I was in shock. I found out about an hour before, maybe before live. I just uploaded a couple videos, and Tamara texted me again. I thought, oh, okay, maybe she wanted to just chat real quick before my live. No, she wanted to let me know that news, which I was like, oh my God, you know? Andrea, did you get a membership? Oh, right. Andrea got a membership. And you've always been Dragon Tribe, Andrea. That's so cool. Little Miss Sharon. Aw, thank you. Thomas says, guys, I have a friend that was a counselor at an autistic camp that knew him in Ohio. She's high functioning autistic. Yeah. And it's funny because Devlin really knew a lot of people. Like even today we were kind of joking a little bit, like, of course, because we're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Devlin was such a ladies' man, right? Like he had quite a few girlfriends. I'm not throwing shade either, but I mean, it opens up more people to something that could have happened, right? Because we were even speculating, like, what if one of the dads got upset or something about a girl, seeing her son or something, or excuse me, seeing his daughter. Ah, hi Jeff, that's funny. Ah, thank you for the warm welcome, little Miss Sharon. So Andrea, Devlin's mom is, his bio mom, Jessica, is pregnant. So I think she's like in the first trimester or so. If if I'm doing my math right. I know, Andrea. I know, Andrea, Lori. Oh gosh, I know. It's just, well, the thing is she wasn't trying a lot before, and now it's like she kind of has an excuse in a way. So I'm kind of like, well, but I really wish I had a different name for this particular episode. It's all right. Well, I wasn't planning on talking about Devlin long, because I was just going to let you guys know that Tamara's going to come on and talk with us and let us know what's been going on, right? Because like even with the reward fund and things like that, there's still a $6,000 reward allegedly, but I mean, they never did the pancake breakfast like they were supposed to, the people that are keeping this money, and they haven't done anything to raise more funds or do anything positive with the money, put up billboards or anything like that. So it's very concerning. We've talked a lot about it here, and we even had like a push to do the right thing with the money, right? And then they voted on it. I didn't vote because I didn't put any money into this particular fund. But long story short, they kept the money where it was, and it was a bunk ass situation, in my opinion. It was a fixed rig deal, right? And I'm not cool with that. That to me is unfair. I know life is unfair, but we try, right? We at least can do that much. We could at least try to be fair, and especially when I mean, I know people that donated large amounts that are not happy with that, and they rigged that shit. So, and again, so Tamara's looking at doing some awareness for Devlin, which I was so excited to hear that. And then this happened. So, Deanna, that's awesome. Yes, you need to. You need to. That's hilarious. Jen, I'm sorry, that's hilarious. Jen, you post your Venmo in here anytime you want. Jen, that's hilarious. I love it. No, you're not being rude. We all are with you. Hey, Ruth Ann, we're all there with you. You're not being rude. I mean, here's the thing. A little life is a little life. I love babies, and I'm always happy about a new baby, but I mean, it's just not the best situation to bring a baby into. And that's me being nice about it. So, yeah, Devin, this is Devlin Tate, and I appreciate you being here and caring about these cases. So, um, yes, if you guys want to sign up for a reading with Jen, she does a great job, and I'll tell you, everything that we do, like everything that I'm doing to grow my channel too. I'm going to tell you guys more about that as well, but not now. But we do it so we can keep the channels going, right? We do that so we can keep on doing what we love to do too, right? What we're passionate about. So, um, and you need to be passionate if you're talking about these cases. We're going to see Jonathan Lee Riches, like the other side of him, right? Tragedy pimp to the max. Loves to get off on other people's misery. It does seem that way anyway. Like, oh, can't wait to see if there's going to be a school unaliving today, or he gets really overly excited. A lot of people have said that, so I think that's probably, I was kind of like at the end of my video, I did what we learn about JLR from the Exes, right? um I mean, it's nothing really besides kind of solidifying a lot of the things that we've already kind of become to understand more of, when it comes to him. Let me put Devlin off of here because we're going to be talking about some craziness. So it's Saturday. After a very heavy subject, I would love to make you guys laugh. So, I didn't put a lot of like silliness in this video because I do want to make sure that the victims are the ones that are highlighted in their story because they're brave enough to come out, right? If you've been with a abusive guy or girl, you know that they are, quick to anger, and if you do something, they may retaliate. So, I mean, there's a lot that goes into, um, there's just so much that goes into it because so I didn't want to make them seem like I was making a joke out of what they're saying because I'm not. I think he's a joke, right? He's become a laughing stock, but it's because of his actions and because of what he's done, right? And he's kind of like that negative. Okay, so a lot of us too that are in the public view, we're kind of like bad publicity is good publicity. If they're talking, at least they're talking about me, right? It's like, so you come to kind of cope with it in that way where you're like, well, I mean, at least they're talking about me. If I have haters, then that I'm winning, right? I mean, you start having that mindset, you start hearing that mindset, and you're like, well, that's more positive than saying like nobody likes me, oh my god. So you just kind of go with the flow on it. Right? But like if you're doing some really big dirt behind the scenes, I mean, you're bound to, somebody's going to find out about it, right? It's just not going to go away, and then, it's just one of those things where it's inevitably going to come out, especially if you're actively like hurting people. And apparently, JLR has been going through this for a while with these ladies, right? Like, problematic relationships 101. We'll just say that, right? Aw, Jen, thank you for your super chat. She says we love you and want to keep you doing your thing. Aw, Jen, you are loved and supported as a creator for the missing. Thank you, Jen. Oh my gosh, that means the world to me. I'll tell you what. It's so much to keep up with, right? Like, even because I wonder about how everything goes after the fact, even with the new little girl that we were talking about yesterday, Dejanay, right? She was just like, I was like, what happened to her dog? And is she all right? Is she doing better? Is she with her sister? Because her sister was so looking for her. And I mean, I think those stories really uplift us too when we see that she was being held and she got out. And I'm just so grateful to hear those and share those with you guys. It really means the world. Thank you guys. Aw, you guys are the best. Thank you, thank you. Cinderella. Aw. Oh, well, I tried, Devin, but and it's hard because a lot of the times too, um, like I said, I like to get down with watching some of this craziness, right? But part of it was because I was like, well, we're going to cover the case. We're not going to cover JLR every single day and beat a dead horse. I mean, we know, right? But then when the exes come out, I'm like, I think this is going to be interesting to see how it plays out because the court date is coming up. And like I said, I won't be covering JLR on Devlin's anniversary day or however we want to put it, 1 year mark for being missing. I won't do that because, Devlin deserves to be spoken about. I hope we find him before then. Let me get through this ad. I hope we find him before that, but if we don't, we are going to be talking about him that day, right? Okay, so this is going to be Molly Golightly, right? And she has a podcast. She was on Wife Swap. I don't know if you guys watched Wife Swap, but I watched Wife Swap, but then I also watched Dave Chappelle when he did the parody on Wife Swap, and it was freaking hilarious. Like I could still watch that today and laugh my butt off. It was so funny. Thank you, Marion. That's so sweet of you. Oh, little Miss Sharon, thank you for the super sticker. That's awesome. Oh, thank you. So, I mean, she's very much of a personality. We'll say that. So, really, really funny. And, AKA Big Juicy. Okay, well, her interview was juicy, right? And Chuchi and I were watching yesterday, and I was like, I can't go live right now because this is too much. Right? This is hilarious. And I want to know more about this. And we're just like cracking up because, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe the things they're saying. Or, like, I can't even, I'll just have to show you guys. Hello, Joe. Good to see you. So, it's buckle up. Okay. Buckle up. I used to watch Wife Swap, says Ruth Ann, yeah, a long time ago. Is it still on? I don't think so. But all I know is they would usually choose like two opposite families. And then they would be like, okay, this mom's strict and this mom isn't, and we're going to swap them or whatever. Or like the kids are crazy in this house, the other ones are military, like something like that. So it was always interesting to watch the different dynamics. And then like when they would like read the mom's plan or whatever, and the other mom would be like, what? I'm not doing this. This is crazy. And then like, so it was interesting as hell to watch it. It was wild. It was wild. And then I was like, oh my God, if she puts it on members only, we're never going to be able to show this. This is so, that was funny. I had a blast watching that because I didn't even know I was going to get sucked into it. But then once they were confirming some of the details that we kind of already knew, because we read the article that the New York Post did, and they were pretty spot on with what they were saying and what these women are saying. And again, he's been wrapped up in a lot of these cases. Like one was the Watts murders, right? The family annihilation of Shanann, her little girls, Bella and Cece, and then her unborn son, Nico. Right? Brutal. And wait till you hear what he did. I mean, some of this shit is going to be surprising to you guys even if we think we know. There's just so much, they're all two totally different ones, right? It's hilarious. Joe, it was funny. He did a good job on that, I think. Hey, Shadow. Hey, Shadow. Good to see you. It's ridiculous. But it was, these are the things we used to watch. And then we wonder, well, why do we like to watch all the drama? It's like, because these shows, reality shows. All right. So here we go. I'm just going to play this beginning part for you guys. And then this picture always reminds me of whenever Balin out loud says, or Dupree is her last name, but she says, "Little baby Weena," and that's my best impression, "Little baby Weena." But every time, this guy right here, hilarious.
The day before yesterday, actually for a couple of days, I think this girl has tried to tell me stuff, and I did get to talk. Are all of his exes in Texas? So I don't know. I don't know why you want to come up, Monica. Why do you want to come up? Are you one of Jonathan Lee Rich's exes? Because I have to talk to these girls first and see them. It's not that you said something wrong. I just don't know what's going on. Can you tell me before I start? Okay. So this is Angela. Okay. Angela.
Hi.
Wait a second. Are you telling me right now? Are you telling me that you're not Jay for Justice? Because everybody thinks you're Jay for Justice.
No, I'm not even sure who that is.
Oh, see? You matched the girl in.
Okay, guys, I don't know why anybody, this is the thing with the internet, like that I don't understand. I'm just going to go off on a little tangent here that has nothing to do with any of this. But who the hell thinks this sounds like Jay is for Justice? This girl has a very distinct voice, and so does Jay, especially because we all heard her voice, right? And we seen her. But it's like somebody says and starts a rumor, oh my gosh, this is going to be, Jay is for Justice trolling Molly about being one of JLR's girlfriends, I suppose is really what was being said here. So, Joan Rivers vibes. Yeah, badass. Yeah, I agree. That's funny. She's really pretty though. I love the blazer, right? I used to rock the blazers out in that same motif. When I was in real estate. So I was like, oh, look, she's professional, very professionally done. Like I look nice when I come up on the camera too. Hello, Miss Ann Reynolds. Good to see you. So yeah. Oh, just wait. It gets so spicy. It is so funny, Jen. Like I was dying, and I think it was because it was like Friday night, and it was just like a whole like, oh my gosh. The whole vibe was like we were just cracking up. And I got some great screenshots. I should do like a quick little funny parody video. But Chuchi and I were like, what domestic violence drives? And it's like, because by the end of this, they're taking shots and drinking, and it was they turned some lemons into lemonade. It was cute. So yeah, we were dying. It just felt like we were like out to lunch listening to these ladies, and it's so funny.
Can I show the pictures of you and JLR real quick? Sure. All right, so just to make sure, so this is not Jay for Justice. This is her with JLR, and here they are. We got videos of them.
Okay, so here's the one that I didn't put on the thumbnail. So obviously, like, she's younger here and everything. This was years ago, but very pretty. That's definitely the same person, in my opinion. And again, these internet rumors, I don't know how somebody started that one and it stuck.
Kissing. We got other stuff. Won't show that. Definitely not gonna show that. Okay, here they are together. Is that the same girl or is that Jay for Justice? Okay, very pretty, yes. Here they are out to eat. There's lots of pictures of them together. So ta-da, Jonathan is straight.
Maybe.
We look like maybe.
Okay, this is another thing we were just laughing so hysterically at, because I was like, oh my god, I called it. But then I was like, actually, I got that from Nerdy's post. So really, I was like, oh my gosh, this is too much. And then Chuchi and I were laughing because Molly keeps trying to be like, okay, well, he's straight, is an arrow, great, we know that. And then like, but no. And then she's like, wait a minute, not so fast now. Was just it was hilarious. It was just so hilarious, and I was dying, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I should not be laughing this hard right at this, because it's like pandemonium. But here we go.
I'm just playing. Hi guys, sorry, I'm kind of camera shy and I've never done this before. And
okay, so you reached out to me, and so you came into the chat a few days ago, and I got very curious of you. So you contacted me on Facebook. Now, you didn't just contact me through some bullshit thing, and you showed me your official picture, and you were like, listen, this is who I am. And you showed me so much stuff to prove, like the videos. You were like, listen, I'm the real deal. That's what you said. So,
yes.
So we've already proved that. So it's not Jay for Justice. And there is another one that should be coming up. And so she wanted to make sure that we knew a couple of things. So she kind of told the chat a couple of days ago that they had a 2-year relationship. So I'll let you have the floor, lady.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm a little bit camera shy. I'm not used to speaking publicly or anything like that. So, I mean, I'm just basically here to say that I believe Magnolia. I was with him for 2 years, and he has a very bad temper. I'm not going to lie and say that he hit me. He never hit me. He did threaten to, once he threatened to throw his hot coffee on me.
Oh my God. Okay, this is really interesting, right? He says, and you're welcome, Bo. I know I didn't realize she put it so fast in the beginning. Otherwise, I would have slowed it down too in the beginning there. Because they were like talking really, really, really fast, right? But she had it sped up. Um, yeah, so like she's saying, I do believe Magnolia, right? I believe her when she says this happened, but he didn't hit me, but he would threaten to throw hot coffee and stuff. Like you could scald somebody with hot coffee. Like that's unbelievable. And I wonder, Peace, Love, and Jeeps, is that why he raged out so much, right? So yeah, even though I was teasing him about it, it was more like, is that why you raged out though? Because it's okay, but why would you like rage out about it and hurt her unless maybe she was upset as his girlfriend and was like, I'm gonna expose your ass for this. Like, what are you doing looking at this crap? And not only that, it's very dangerous if somebody is partaking in those activities and they're partaking in the same activities with you, right? I got to be careful they don't demonetize my video for that, right? But it's like you just have to wonder if he was doing the cheating thing. That's dangerous in and of itself, right? So hello, Brad, and then bringing stuff home, so to speak, even though none of them have been married to JLR, but he has been married before. But none of the people that came up and spoke, these are just kind of longtime live-in girlfriends. Um, and I think so too, Holly. And I think that the abusers know who they can pull this crap with and who won't put up with it. And I'm not saying that to victim blame or shame because I was in a very bad relationship like this. So, and I went back, right? Because this, my daughter's father, we were young too, and all of that. But I'm saying, like, yeah, I mean, I think that there's certain relationships that he might have tried it with her. Maybe that's why he was threatening her, right? And maybe she was like, "Oh, hell no." And her reaction, he knew. But then other girls, maybe they would be like, "Oh my God, you're gonna throw hot coffee? Why would you do that? Like it's scary, it's sad, like you get hurt emotionally." Some people are sensitive, more sensitive than other people. And so he could have been trying it out. I do think that abusers do that, right? They overstep their boundaries to see if you're going to set up a boundary, right? And be like, "Whoa, no, you don't do that to me. You don't treat me that way." Right? Some people take it and they don't know that they can get out, you know? So, yeah, Holly, it's like they try it and they're like and I think that's why he didn't put hands on Betty because Betty probably would have give it right back to him. You know what I'm saying? The hot grits would have came out and he wouldn't want no hot grits, because they're cowards. They also don't like to have confrontations with men, right? They would rather pick on somebody littler than them, someone they know they can beat. They don't want to take a chance because their little fragile egos couldn't help it if they got beat up by a big man, you know? So Sherry, I'm not even worried about it. JLR would be barking up the wrong tree altogether, ma'am. I'm going to tell you that. And I did put his post in there about him suing people. Hey Tam, she says, "Oh shoot, sounds like I've missed a good live." No, we're just getting started. Should I back up or listen? No, we did Devlin in the beginning, and now we're doing this this one. I know I'm telling you. No, he did not, badass. He did not hit BHB, no. And he didn't hit any of these gals either. So that's a good thing, right? But then again, there's other forms of abuse that stick with people, right? It's not just if you've been hit. So it goes both ways. And again, with that, comparing trauma, we don't do that in here, right? All of it's bad, none of it's acceptable. Nobody should ever have to feel less than or be told that, you're never going to find anybody but me and all that horrible the shit they tell you to lie to you, you know? So Jen says the bedster would have had, oh gosh, right? Would have floored his ass too. Hell yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, he probably knew damn well not to, nope. And that's the thing, they know, right? And who knows, maybe that's why they broke up, because he knew he couldn't run her. You know, they like to run people. And they'll run you down, straight into the ground. They don't give a shoot, they care about themselves. So, um, no, I've never seen it. And she said no. I think she said something about grabbing her arm, but again, that's what they do. They'll see what they can get away with, and if he did grab her arm, I bet you she looked at him and said, gave him the look to kill, you know what I mean? So, all right, I'm just going to back this up a little bit because I think, there we go.
Temper. I'm not going to lie and say that he hit me. He never hit me. He did threaten to, once he threatened to throw his hot coffee on me. He did push me against a wall one time, but he never actually hit me. But he's a very, very bad person. And the reason that.
Hey guys, if somebody pushes you against a wall, it's not hitting, but that's abuse. So anybody, again, this is where it starts. They usually don't annihilate you at first, right? Sometimes they do. Scary. Sometimes there's been cases where people have put, set people ablaze and all of this craziness, right? They want to make it so nobody else will want you. That's how disgusting they are, right? And they're trying to F you up so no one else wants you. Spiritually, in your soul, they want to get to you so that nobody else is ever going to want you. You're a freaking shell of who you used to be. That's what they do. That's their intention, right? So right here, I'm going to have to disagree respectfully with this victim and say, look, girl, he put hands on you by pushing you.
I'm speaking is because I don't like how he victimizes people. He's a scam artist. And he's supposed to be trying to get justice for victims and investigating things to help the victim. And he's not doing it for that reason. He actually loves it when a tragedy happens because he likes to take advantage of the situation and use that for his own gain.
When did you guys date?
We were together from the end of 2016 till September of, so it was around Christmas of 2016 till like mid-September of 2018.
Wow. How did you meet him?
We had mutual friends on Facebook.
So it was a Facebook group?
No, it wasn't actually a group. We just had mutual friends.
Oh, okay. And when you met him, what'd you think? Did you think he was hot?
I didn't. We actually spent a lot of time talking on the phone. Okay. I thought he was very charming and really sweet. And I knew that he had just gotten out of prison. But we spent a lot of time talking, video chatting and stuff like that before we actually got together. We met for the first time in person in February of 2017. And then we moved in together in March.
Okay, that's not that. So a month.
Yeah, well, basically, yeah, a month.
A month. But because this is important, you guys. The ex before was ding, 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 Naomi.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So before we go any further, he moved in. And you found out that he had gotten out of jail and he had a very brief relationship with his wife, Naomi.
Before we moved in together, I told him, that's when I found out about Naomi. And I told him that I wasn't going to be with a married man. So he did this whole thing where he ran down to the Chester County courthouse, filed for a divorce, and sent me all the paperwork. But I don't believe that he ever saw that divorce through. He showed me a lot of videos of her, and he said that she was crazy. And she was talking about, how she had, the government had, injected her with AIDS and they were tracking her and all this other stuff. It was crazy. And he was just like, well, I'm over all of that and I'm done with all of that. I think he's still married to Naomi. He admitted to me that they were both YouTubers. They were both part of this James Holmes group where they call themselves homies. And she went to his house in Westchester. They were together for 2 weeks, literally. That's it.
They got married in 2 weeks?
They got married right away. I think it was like the third day she got there. And then they were together for 2 weeks. And then his parents said that she had to go, They gave her money and a plane ticket back to Colorado, and that was the last time he saw her. After that, she got in trouble for drugs. She was in jail.
She's not doing very well. Cutsy did a lot of investigating into the ex-wife. And I mean digging. And she said, Marissa, the situation with the ex-wife is actually horribly sad. She's schizophrenic. She's I guess they had a nice thing in the beginning, I guess, but then I guess she has wild thoughts and she was very paranoid. So Cutsy had told me about all that. So it only took how long did they meet until they got married?
I think they were together for maybe 3 days, he said. Yes.
Oh my God, this is like the hottest situation ever.
Because Jonathan is so just obsessed with the idea of, I mean, for him, I think it was just a big thing that she was a big YouTuber. So he wanted to be with someone who was a big YouTuber. He wants attention. Yeah. He wants to be known. That's what he really cares about. He's a true narcissist.
Yeah. What happened when he moved? What happened when he moved in?
Okay, so I do believe he's a true narcissist, but I also believe in looking at the red flags. You know, hindsight's always 20/20, right? We did a poll because Brad, that was hilarious, right? Is he hot? Is he not? Right? Okay, so I'm gonna go not. But that's, you know, I mean, just personal preference. And don't be afraid, don't be shy, ladies. If you think that JLR's hot, you know, no shade. But here's the thing: red flags, right? He just got out of jail. Well, he. Not jail, prison. He just got out of prison, right? We gotta break the cycle. We gotta break the chains, right? Because this guy obviously didn't have any respect for himself, and that's why he's not going to have any respect for you. It's not about you. You're a beautiful person, right? He's not. So just, you know, a little bit of, you know, just want to put it out there in case anybody's going through that.
I think it was just a big thing that she was a big YouTuber. So he wanted to be with someone who was a big YouTuber. He wants attention. Yeah. He wants to be known. That's what he really cares about. He's a true narcissist.
Yeah. What happened when he moved? What happened when he moved in?
He was actually, when I started talking to him, okay, so he and Naomi, she was already in jail at this point, and he had just gotten out of jail because he went back. Remember, he was in prison for 10 years, and then he got out, and then he did that Sandy Hook thing. He wasn't supposed to leave Pennsylvania. He recorded it, so they violated him. He went back for 2 years for doing that. So that's when I met him, and we started talking, and I found out about Naomi, and I told him, I'm not going to be with a married guy, and he was like, but we weren't really together.
But on paper, they were.
Right, and that's all he really cared about. So when he got out, and she was in jail when he got out of jail for drugs, and then he started using her pictures to troll, and I think he was getting guys to send him money.
Now, really quick, because I kind of had a meltdown yesterday, and you probably saw me crying hysterical because you were the one that sent me a picture of Frankie Rusek, not knowing that the whole Frankie Rusek, Shanann Watts' brother, was being trolled to death.
And oh my gosh, you guys, this part is so freaking sad, and this makes me so angry, right? Because wait till you hear what he did. Hey, Scranton Strangler. And Jen, I've played his content because he goes there. You know, that's why I was like, don't be alarmed, guys, if he doesn't lose a bunch of people, or if later on, you know, he covers another huge case, right? Because that's what he does. And it doesn't seem like there's going to be very many repercussions. And so I kind of try to set up that expectation, you know, right? I mean, look, they're going to talk about it too, Holly, you know, what could have happened to poor Magnolia, because, you know, it's really, really tough when you're intertwined and you care for someone, and they were working on projects together. Wow, it just a lot, you know, just a very, very lot, you know, to unpack. But yeah, so apparently his first wife, Naomi, was who he was with when he directly got out of. I mean, it sounds like a lot of these women were together with him at the same time. I haven't really been able to like confirm that, but it just seems like, because they're like, yeah, I got with him when he got out of prison. I got with, you know, but he's been in there for a couple of times because he broke violation of probation, going to Sandy Hook because he wasn't supposed to leave the area, and then he went to Connecticut. So just throwing that out there too.
And you said to me, and I felt like a ton of bricks fell on my head when you said it, and you sent me that photo, and you redacted the photo, which I thought was, very classy, because you were like, I want to not send something graphic. And I was like, wait a second, I remember when this happened. He used Naomi's account, trolled Frank Rusek, which is the father. I have the messages, and Frankie. And then
Okay, so he trolled Frank Rusek, who is Shanann's father, right? And then her brother Frankie, he trolled him too, using her picture, not Molly's, Angela's, using her picture to troll them and to be like, hey, send me, like, hey, baby, let me see what you're working with, right? And then Frankie sent a picture of himself, thinking that he was sending it to JLR's girlfriend. I don't know about you guys. I wouldn't want to be involved in that. Guys, I remember Frankie Rusek bawling his eyes out over Shanann, Bella, and Cece, and then never knowing or even getting to meet Nico. So awful, 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 awful. So we're just going to go back just a tad for that. And again, this is in Shanann Watts' case. Her husband, Chris Watts, annihilated their entire family. And JLR, Mr. I'm here to show everybody what's going on. Hello, hello, hello. I should have put my camera on tonight so you guys can see me. I'm doing a JLR impression. Hey guys, come on in. Come on. Hey, 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 waving. And he's doing this years ago in the Watts case. Unbelievable. To a grieving family who just lost his sister Shanann and his nieces. And then he never got to meet his nephew. And, Frankie and Shanann were super close, you guys. Like, super close. I mean, who does that besides a madman?
Rusek, not knowing that the whole Frankie Rusek, Shanann Watts' brother, was being trolled to death. And you said to me, and I felt like a ton of bricks fell on my head when you said it, and you sent me that photo, and you redacted the photo, which I thought was, very classy, because you were like, I want to not send something graphic. And I was like, wait a second, I remember when this happened. He used Naomi's account, trolled Frank Rusek, which is the father. I have the messages, and Frankie. And then he was engaging in some flirtatiousness with the son, not the father, because Frank is the father. Frankie is the son. That's who they got a nude photo of. Jonathan made it his life's mission to really come for Frankie and humiliate him and embarrass him for no apparent reason. So Jane
Exactly. Exactly. And that's why that's why I'm doing this too. People are on his channel and they're giving him money and stuff like that. He doesn't deserve any of that. All he does is victimize the victims even more and exploit them and use them for his own personal gain. He is a horrible, horrible person. I actually learned, we weren't together when he did the thing with Frankie. Someone had messaged me and I went in and I just started being nosy myself. And I saw that he was also trolling as his other girlfriend using her name. And he was trolling the Shanann Watts group, and he's the one that got the picture of Frankie nude, and he was passing it around. Yes.
Okay, sorry guys. So I missed that part. So he wasn't using Angela's picture. He was using another girlfriend's picture. Sorry, I got the wrong girl. But holy shit, right? So hey, I mean, I would never want someone using my image to troll Frankie Rusek into giving out pictures of himself like that. What do you think JLR did with that? Because we all know that he does internet searches for Big D. Unbelievable. So creepy, right? It's like, what in the fudge? My goodness, I mean, yeah, the waving was a lot. Devin says I've always got the weird vibes from JLR. It's starting to make sense. Everything's coming together. I'm a good judge of character. Yeah, Devin. I mean, hey, anytime we get, a bad vibe or, the ick, Jen likes to call it the ick. I think that's one, because you kind of do get like kind of sick feeling. And it's like, yeah, I always trust that, no matter what. I mean, even if other people aren't getting vibes like that, if you are, I mean, trust your gut every single time. Most definitely. Yeah, turning on Seth and just, I mean, I think a lot of that had to do with Magnolia, but still, I mean, I think he just likes to be involved in things like that, but then how do you even know that he hasn't been trolling other people? Right? And then I'll think about what Bobby the neighbor said too, because she said that he was like a dick, right? And I was like, why is she calling him that? Like, I thought she did good on the interview, and he did a fair representation of her, right? I mean, she was talking. He didn't like add in commentary at the beginning or end or anything really. He just asking her questions, and she was upset with him after the fact, and maybe it was because of some of this behavior that was going on we don't know about, right? And so because I remember her getting upset with him, and I'm like, I wonder why. So maybe something to do with this or something, when she's got like boys too. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm looking over everybody's shoulder here lately with this. I would suggest he was doing with the photos, but it's not the kind of channel Scranton. I know, right? I know. And I mean, here's the thing, like Frankie thinks he's sending it over to a pretty girl that he is attracted to, not creepy old JLR, I mean, and it's not Chester Cheetah vibes, I guess, because Frankie was of age, but my lord, that is just so weird that you would try to obtain. What would that even be? Because you're really like catfishing someone, right? Is that what I mean, that's basically it. That's catfishing. I guess that's the definition of catfishing there. Yeah, like I mean, I did too. I used the content. When he would do the interviews, he did Bobby's interview. He was the one I showed him when he got accosted by Terry Bowersox in the neighborhood. Remember that? I mean, that's the thing. He's a little pretty boy. I know, Scranton. I was thinking about if I brought that one to my dad. Like, there would be some hurt feelings. I'm just going to say that.
And that broke my heart. I actually cried too. I reached out to the family, but they were probably trolled so hard that they didn't want to respond to me. They probably thought that I was someone else that wanted to fuck with them.
I get it. I know. And you showed me that as well. I have it. I'm not going to put everything out. It's not going to happen. This is not a quote unquote hit piece. This is not to attack them. This is merely, a place where, we got some girls who have, maybe some similar stories. So we have the other girl, Jane, that keeps clicking in, and she doesn't want to tell her real name. She has a family. She's married. She's got a family, and she has a house. She's doing quite well. And you guys connected. How long ago did you guys connect that you guys have been talking? Jane. And that's not her real name, Jane.
No, but we really started talking after the breakup with Jonathan, because she tried to warn me as well. While Jonathan and I were living together, she reached out to me. She tried to warn me. She was right on everything that she said, of course. But, I didn't want to listen to her. I just thought that she was a bitter ex and blah, 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 blah. You know how that goes. So I was like, oh, she's just a bitter ex. And Jonathan convinced me she was a bitter ex.
Yeah.
But she was absolutely right about everything. And of course. So then when Jonathan and I split up, her and I began talking. And I was like, you were right about everything you fucking said about this guy. And we became friends, and she's a really good person.
Yeah, she seems really sweet, very respectful. Looks like a good mother.
Oh yeah, guys. And here's the thing. I think a lot of us were fooled by it. I think we want to see people do well, right, Holly? We want to see people do well. We want people to do better with themselves. We don't like it when people are doing, dirt. I mean, that's why we talk about it, right? And then hopefully they see the error of their ways, all of that. But not so much, because JLR seems to be kind of proud of some of this behavior, and I think the probably not this particular situation of behavior, but all of the trolling and stuff like that. He probably likes when he can get over on someone else, you know? Badass, you're right. Serial scammers, they don't change. They're just the best at deceiving you. Yeah, they are. They're really good. They're like master manipulators, absolutely, which is how they successfully scam you to begin with, and claiming they have changed is just another scam. Right, perfectly said. And they enjoy it, right? They're like, "Ooh, duper's delight." You know what I mean? It's absolutely duper's delight. They're like, "How can we get over on someone?" And then that's the first thing they do is make you think they're good, trustworthy, you know? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Con man, exactly. Reminds me a lot of that one guy who had all those girlfriends, or the one that pretended he was a Rockefeller, you know, and people believed him. I mean, they absolutely thought he was.
I'll say that. Like, I looked through her socials and stuff like that, and she's just like I don't want to be. Thank you, honey, kindness. So when you were with him, what did he do for a living?
Nothing. He was on disability.
Oh.
He was receiving disability and EBT, an EBT card, food stamps. His parents were helping him financially outside of that, you know. So
So he's the one that moved into your apartment, correct?
yes, I moved to Philly because I had a roommate and our lease was up. And so, you know, I was working from home. I really didn't have any obligations here in Chicago. So he was like, just move to Philly. And I was like, okay. So I got an apartment out there. We actually lived in Bridgeport, Pennsylvania.
Yes,
so I got an
it all
apartment.
comes out. Yep, it all comes up.
Wow, guys. I mean, they moved in quick. They moved in quick. They moved very fast. And he's all on EBT and disability. So this girl, like, really must have liked him, right? She really must have found him to be, you know, have potential or something. You know, I'm not trying to be hateful or anything. Obviously, if you just got out of prison, you're starting over again. I totally get it. But again, you know, I just don't understand that. The Tinder swindler. Thank you, Holly. That's what, so wild, right? Just so wild. And, you know, also there's a lot of like Dr. Phil episodes where there'll be like an older lady, and then this guy will, you know, just be asking for money. Like, that's one thing, guys. If somebody is like trying to get with you and then they're just like, oh my God, I need you to send me money. Like, don't send them any money. Fuck them. You know what I mean? So. Badass says, I've been warning people of him forever. I only post the facts. Well, you know, I need to sub up to you then, Badass, because, you know, the thing is that a lot of times when people are telling the truth, people are like, oh, no, that's not true. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, though. Like, because, I mean, I've been in that position, too, where people be like, Lady Freedom, you're lying. And I'm like, I am not lying. Like, I'm not happy to have to tell you guys this, right? Like, I even got anxiety before the show or posting my video because I knew this shit was going to pop off and blow up. Mainly, like, when I was trying to tell people about Terry Lynn. People are like, no, oh my God, I still love her. And I'm like, I'm not telling you not to, but I'm just telling you so you're aware. Like, this is crazy shit and wild, right? You're not Black Joe. No, gosh, no. I just put your ass in timeout for a minute. I just give you a juice box and a chair, a coloring book for a sec. Joe, this is the episode you could actually be wild in. I'm surprised you're not wilding out. Like, where you at, Joe? We haven't even had to, you know, tell you to chill out. I'm wondering about you over there. They do love bomb people, Women's Warrior. They put you on a pedestal, right? Like, oh my God, I can't believe I met you. Like, I don't even deserve you. I just got out of prison. You know, all this shit, laying it on thick. We're gonna find out though. It was a big nothing burger once they got together. Buckle up, guys. I know it's taken me a while to get there, but I do need to stop and just remind you guys, you know, the topic that we're talking about is very important. So that's when I knew he was an ass, when he turned on Seth. It bothers me too. It does bother me too, Holly. I know. And little Miss Sharon says, yeah. And I mean, I think that's when he lost me. And like, I never really watched him a whole lot after that, right? Like, I would maybe review some things, but just about Sebastian. So, and then he gained a lot of popularity with Nancy's case. And so we were watching, and then, but I even said to Jen, I go, "Where's Magnolia?" I was like, she was really good for his channel. Like, she was in the chat, she was working hard, you guys. And I was like, what happened to her? Like, then I'm like, oh, maybe she's just like behind the scenes more or something. I didn't know. But they weren't together. So, and hats off to her for waiting a long time. Peace, Love, and Jeep says, why would she want to be with him? He had nothing going for him. Well, I mean, and that's the thing, like, I don't care if we're Facebook friends or not. Like, if my Facebook friend was like just getting out of prison, I'd be like, he's got a lot of learning to do still, you know, or he's got to get settled into real life. And I don't know. Sometimes women like the bad, you know, guys. They like the bad guys, and I'm not saying. And he does. He absolutely preys on women. He's got a type too, badass. Like, he likes short blonde or short, tiny redhead people, redheaded women. Sorry. He absolutely has a type. And sometimes when you see that, that's a red flag too. I'm not saying that it always is. I'm just saying that, you know, Joe, he says he's a fire. That can be taken in a lot of different ways, you know. So yeah, he is. He's look, he's duped a lot of people, you know. So thank you, little Miss Sharon. Yeah, could you guys drop the link, and I'll have to go grab it too. So, I'm not trying to stop the hustle. Look, he's gonna hustle on. I can't. You missed my last couple shows I did on JLR. He's still hustling on. Don't get me wrong. This isn't probably gonna slow him down. That's why I was trying to set up the expectations. That's it, Brenda. But see, that's why we're loving, we're caring, we're nurturing, right? We see a baby bird that fell out of the tree. We're gonna try to get it, you know, back to be able to fly, right? That's how we are as women. Brenda says the generosity of women never ceases to amaze me. It doesn't me either. We see a wounded, you know, man. We're like, oh, you know, it's all right. You know, you just had a bad go of it, right? I'll help you out, right? Let's do it together. Let's partner up. Let's be a team. Can't do that with a lot of these people. And that goes for men too. I've seen men do that too, where they'll be with a broken woman, you know, or they find that to be attractive. They want to come in and be the white knight. They want to ride up on the horse. It's like, why though? You got shit going for you that's good, and you're going to let her bring you down? Like, why? For what? She ain't that good. We're going to find out, too, who else isn't very good either. So, Shadow says, I found him through Sebastian's case. I really liked his coverage, and then he flipped. See, I was the same way, Shadow. You know what I did? I took JLR's footage that he did from the Texas Roadhouse to Katie and Chris's, and he did the 3 different routes that you could take. And then I went ahead and put the, you know, sound from Smiley over top that, because Chris and Katie were saying they had signs up all over and not a one sign. Well, there was 3 signs, one at the school, one in their front yard, and another one on Stop 30 Road. I believe it was Stop 30. Either way, barely any signs. But Chris was bragging to Smiley that his mom had all these yard signs because she's a realtor and blah, 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 blah. You know? Cinderella says, I stopped watching JLR 3 years ago. I'm way his senior, and he did the same thing to me. Well, and you know, the thing is like, his mom was even speaking ill on him to these girls and being like, you're too pretty, you're too nice. If someone's mama telling you that, girl, run.
Yes. And then, so I got an apartment, we moved in together, and he was really cool at first. It took a little time to just start seeing who he was. Like, everywhere we went, he just wanted me to record him. Everything was a selfie opportunity. Mm-hmm. And then he started doing things like, things that he shouldn't have been doing that worried me, you know, trying to scam gift cards. And I just started seeing that he was, you know, he never changed. Jonathan never changed. He's still a fraudster. And it's something that people don't know about him, and you can find the information if you really look it up. Jonathan, when he went to prison for wire fraud, that wasn't his first time going to prison. He was in Pennsylvania State Prison before that for phoning in a bomb threat to the Westchester Mall, and he made a prank call to 2 girls working in Wet Seal in the mall and threatened to slit their throats. And they got an order of protection, and Jonathan, I think he called back or something like that. Anyways, he was violated on that order. So when he got violated on that order, that's when he ended up doing a little bit of time in Pennsylvania State Prison. He's a 3-time felon.
Really?
Yes, he did the...
Okay, so 3-time felon, right? I didn't even know. It does sound like grandiose narcissism too, in my opinion as well, Andrea. Yeah. Yeah. Badass said, did you know that he had a 13-year-old on his live stream? I had no idea. Recorded it and posted it on X. Oh my gosh. Does he get permission from the parents to have them on? Like, what the heck? I know, Bo, it's amazing. And, you know, because I thought it was just like the white collar crime or whatever. Any crime is, you know, I mean, we shouldn't commit crimes, but everybody does do things from time to time, right? Everybody grows and learns and things like that. But it seems like he's never really learned or something. Like, he keeps doing the same thing over and over. So that's insanity right there. You know, so selfies everywhere sounds like a chick. Joe, I'm telling you what, it does, and it does sound like he loves himself so much, right? What is narcissist, right? What is a narcissist for 100, Bob? You know, I mean, that's it. You know, that's what they do. They love themselves way more than everybody else. They're so self-centered. Wait till you hear about his tantrums. I'm telling you, Cinderella. I mean, he's lost only like about 1,000 people. The last time I checked, or somebody had said something, and I went over there and looked because I do that. Like, if somebody tells me something, I go look, you know, to make sure that I'm getting it right. But yeah, the kid used the voice of AI mom. Oh my God, really? What a weird. That is so bizarre. Yeah, that's disturbing. Wow. That is so disturbing.
He got a felony for the thing in Pennsylvania that he went to prison for. And then he did the wire fraud that he got in trouble for. And then he got a felony for that case out of Tucson, where he filed a lawsuit against Gabby Giffords, claiming to be Jared Loughner, the guy that shot her. That wasn't funny. When I found out about that, that's one of the things that like sent me over the edge. And I was like, I'm done with you.
Wow.
A little girl was, I was like, how could you think that's funny? A little girl was killed when that happened. And a woman was shot. I mean, that's horrible.
Yeah. Wow. Did you know if he was ever diagnosed with anything?
The only thing that his mother told me was that he actually was diagnosed with a borderline personality disorder and that he would not take his medication for that.
Okay. So it checks out. Thank you, Cindy. Wow. I was really afraid that he was going to be a borderline. I personally have, you know, friends that, you know, they always say that have psychiatry, you know, degrees, and they have PhDs in psychiatry. They always say, you know, the worse than schizophrenic is actually a borderline. I'm like, well, that doesn't sound borderline. That just sounds like bipolar, because it sounds a lot like bipolar, like a little moody, right? And they're like, no. So do you feel like, have you ever seen empathy come from him? Like, is he nice to animals? Is he nice to animals?
He was nice to our cat.
Okay.
He's always looking for another way to scam money. He's always looking for another. He actually decided to play basketball one day. I was with him. We were at the park. He was acting crazy and he fell and he broke his arm. I actually have a picture of him with his broken arm.
Show me. Show us.
I'll have to go back through and find it, and I'll send it to you tomorrow. But what he did was he wanted to sue. So he claimed he fell at another park where the sidewalk was broken. Yes.
Has he ever been successful with any lawsuits?
No.
Because you want to know what he told me in the car? I can't.
Okay, guys. So Molly just said, hey, has he ever been successful with any of these lawsuits? And she's laughing and she says no, right? And then we also read in the New York Post, I believe it was, that when he was trying to do all of this litigation, they have marked him as someone who is like a serial offender when it comes to trying to sue people, right? So he gets hurt in one place and goes off and allegedly tries to sue at a different place, you know, where he knows of that he possibly could pull it off, right? Like, oh shit, I fell, you know, and then I'm suing, you know, so he's sue happy. What the hell? And Heather Marie, it's so good to see you. Yeah, BPD equals a huge asshole, right? Abandonment issues, codependency to the max. And that is what brews also in narcissistic relationships, in domestic violence situations. That is always present. Those, not BPD, but the underlying issues like codependency, always, you know. And then that's where it comes in, where they start telling you, like, you know, I need you, I need you. They're obsessed. Ugh, God, it's so disgusting. Sorry.
Prove it. You'll just have to take my word for it. But he told me that he received a check for $10,000 from Kraft Macaroni and Cheese. He said he contacted them and said that he got food poisoning. They didn't vet it, and they just sent him a $10,000 check, and then he left. I didn't.
Okay, dude, I believe this part. Okay, this is the reason why I believe this part, is because there's been a lot of people who have done this very thing, right? Who have like sued for food poisoning, but like the company's so big, they just write them a check, right? Like this is like scammers 101. Because a lot of people have done shit like that. And the same thing goes for like, oh, I hurt myself here, and then now I'm acting like I got hurt over here so I can sue, right? They look for like a place where there's a wet floor and there's no wet floor sign. Picking up what I'm putting down? That's just like what these scammers do. And that's how they make their money. And then he's also on food stamps and disability and da 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 da. You know, but I don't know if he actually did this, but this is a way people are sue happy.
But he told me that he received a check for $10,000 from Kraft Macaroni and Cheese. He said he contacted them and said that he got food poisoning. They didn't vet it, and they just sent him a $10,000 check, and then he left. I didn't push it.
No, he's fucking lying.
Okay. All right.
I don't believe that. I mean, unless it happened like after I was gone, but I doubt it.
This was I don't know when was. Hi, Courtney.
Hello.
Hi, Courtney.
Are you listening to this, Courtney? Or are you like hearing this?
I just tuned in. My family is like driving me crazy tonight. I'm so sorry I'm late.
You didn't kick them out?
I'm about to. I'm telling you, I need a she shed.
Oh. So we are here. Yeah, it was 2 days that Jonathan and Naomi got married after 2 days.
Oh, wow.
So that is not Jay for Justice.
Yeah, okay, like I'm just gonna be like totally honest, because I'm Marissa's pain in the butt. I don't believe anyone ever. So when I heard that people were saying that you weren't who you said you were, I went. So everybody can hear this, because you know, if Molly has something wrong, I drive her nuts, because I'll be like, no, that's not, no, I'm a prover. But I went and found her, and I listened to her, and this is her. This is not Jay for Justice, because I didn't hear your voice yesterday on the live until later on. And I will admit, the little bit that I heard, I at first was like, oh my God. And so I went to go, I'm like, I got to find this out. I want to make sure that Marissa's not like getting like trolled or something, you know? And so I can verify that Angela is who she says she is. She's a real person. She's not Jay for Justice. So
yeah,
that can all be laid to rest. The people that said that have no idea. They didn't check. They didn't check it out. They just put that out there, and it is incorrect. And anyone in here that knows me, I am not Captain Save a Hoe. So I do this because I want to know who I'm talking to, right? I want to make sure
that I'm not a hoe.
No.
I didn't wear this.
You're too old to be a hoe. If you're over 40, you're not a hoe. You're a cougar. See?
Playing the bongo.
Oh yeah, honey, you are definitely a cougar. I agree.
So I
like I said, guys, Molly's a character. She's over there playing the bongos or the congos or whatever she's playing on her boobs there. Really funny. But so this lady's like, please don't look at me badly. I'm just gonna say this from my perspective. I think this lady Angela is very brave. I think what she's telling us is important for us to hear, and I appreciate her for coming forward. You know, I never thought anything bad of Angela. You know, there's just things that when we're watching it, even if I bring it up and say, you know, that wasn't the best decision or something like that, it's just to help other people. It's not to throw shade at her or anything like that, you know, because she's brave. She's the one that's helping us understand the situation more. And so I appreciate her for doing that. So no shade.
I think Jane is having. Where is Jane? I think she's having a lit. There she is. Okay, Jane, Captain Jane, Jane.
Hello, Miss Jane.
Is that you, Jane? Jane, can you hear me? She said she's never done this before.
No, she's never done this before. Actually, I've only ever done a YouTube thing one time a few years ago, and I didn't even remember how I did it. So.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out myself.
I screw it up every time I try to come on. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something I ever thought. This isn't like something that I ever thought that I would have to revisit, like these thoughts and the things that happened, years ago and stuff like that. Like this whole JLR thing, I never really thought that stuff like this would ever come up, and like I never thought that I'd be sitting here like scratching my head and having my skin crawl and thinking, whoa, like. And the thing is I don't. There's a part of me that feels bad for him because I know it's a severe mental illness.
Okay, guys, and like here's my thing. I kind of felt the same way, right? I don't even know JLR, but I've just also, used his content. I've, reviewed him, all of that. So it's just odd. You never think that you're gonna sit here and be going over something like this and the true crime, but it's also true crime. It's also something that I try to, like stand up against. So it's just, we have to talk about it. That's what sucks. And I can't imagine how, Molly knowing him must feel. So that's interesting. And Badass says after what he has made off of Nancy Guthrie, oh gosh, the IRS is on him and the total amount of money would disgust you. I mean, I know he made a butt ton of money. I don't know how much exactly, but you guys heard it was 6 figures. Oh my gosh, the high 6 figure. Wow. So just being on location there in front of her house, he made that much? Oh my gosh. I guess they like will super chat him in order to do things. So I guess that would be why they're sending him so much. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. That is so concerning. Um Where were you guys at during the gathering of voices? No, I'm just teasing. But seriously, like, I mean, I don't wow, that much to go on location. Because I've been on location twice. No, I'm just teasing. I'm just wow. I'm amazed by that. Because I thought maybe you would say like 50,000. I'm not kidding. I never thought it would be that much. Well, and that's the thing. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, merch. Oh my gosh. I need to step my game up with merch, but wow. That is so wild, badass. Oh my gosh. And he lets people live stream his streams. Right, because it's publicity. I mean, if we cover any of these people that we cover, that's why I'm like, cover me, right? Like it's kind of part of what we all do, you know? So it's what we do. So amazing. Amazing. And like all these ladies are very much like into him too. So they're giving him extra, I suppose. I mean, like, it's kind of if you're wow. Oh, Nerdy posted it. I need to go look on his X. He's been doing such a good job uncovering. Um, but I've been listening to all of the calls from Plunder lately. So I've kind of been, trying to keep up with all of it because there's more and more coming out. Like when Magnolia is talking about how this all started, and she's been going through this for about 3 years now to, I mean, it's like it kept getting worse, right? Wow. Oh, Bitcoins. Oh, okay. Hasten fake. Oh my goodness. Wow. Hmm. Wow. That is so crazy. Merch. Joe, what we do, we'd have to do like dragon merch or something. I don't even know. Don't even get me started with merch. But, I mean, all of those things combined, though, you think about it and wow, I mean, especially for people who really enjoy his content, want to buy a JLR hat, you know what I'm saying? I mean, wow, that is crazy to think about. Crazy, crazy to think about. Wow, really? See, and a lot of the times I was not paying attention to the chat, only like we were like zooming in to see like because you know how there was like a couple of people there at the residence at Nancy's home, and it looked like maybe like the DA and like somebody that was telling them some information, and so we were like zooming in to see who it was and things like that. So I wasn't paying attention to the chat when but Holly says I believe it. I watched for days and it was donations flowing the whole time. Ooh, and I know they were helping him with like a hotel and stuff, right? Is that true? Or Devin says I'm so happy I'm learning tonight. I'm one less subscription to him, but I spread the like I'll spread this like wildfire. Thank you, Devin. Yeah. I mean, look, people can make up their own minds. They're going to. Some people watch this and be like, "Ah, I still like him." You know what I mean? Some people watch it and be like, "Wow, this guy is a real piece," right? So I mean, it's up to interpretation. I don't know why the women love him, Andrea. I haven't checked the poll. but you know, I mean, there might be a couple yeses in there. So yeah, it's hard for women to it's hard for me to believe that too. I didn't realize women were still supporting him. I mean, look, our true crime audience is mostly women. So I mean, I believe it because I mean, we have a lot of women in the Dragon Tribe is mostly women, and then we have our guys that we love here too. So yeah, the scamming needs to stop. I mean, I don't know if he could ever like not do it though, because like this is the way he's been living, like this is his way of life. Um, Oh, okay, he was the first streamer there, that's why everyone flocked to him. Yeah, because like, Dolly went, I know Andy Signor was there, a couple other people, that I'm not as familiar with, but a lot of people. So, super chats were coming in and with the hundreds. Oh my god, Lori. Oh, I wouldn't even feel right. I don't even know. That is so crazy. Wow. Oh, yes, Holly's, thousands and thousands of dollars a day. Oh my gosh, in my opinion. Wow, that is disgusting. No, I'm sorry. I saw Cinderella, I saw your comment. She says, "Yuck." I know. It's like, oh my gosh. Oh man, we were friends on Facebook going back to the first time Trump ran for president. He used to troll Hillary. Now that's pretty funny though. Like some of the trolls is funny, right? But then you're like, but then if they're willing to do that, then yeah, I don't know. It's just, oh boy. Dad's gone live and said his crimes were small, posted that too. He's another scumbag, and all of those in Tucson rode his jock for clout. Oh my gosh, views and money. Yeah. I mean, that's what drives it. Like, I understand you have to make a certain amount of money to travel. Like, I just posted Special Books by Special Kids is a really good YouTube channel where they go and interview people with different disabilities, right? Or different abilities. Um, Great channel, but they go to every location and they meet the people in their home and things like that. And YouTube's been really hard on long form content, and so they were talking about it and how it's very expensive to travel and be on the road, which I understand that completely. So, yeah. I mean, I get that, but I mean, thousands and I mean, and then to do it dirty like that, like can't you go there and, you know, do it right. You know what I'm saying? Do it right. Like go there, cover the situation. I mean, look, I didn't even know I was gonna catch that crap on video, all the crap that horrible officer, the way he acted. I was just like trying to coordinate with Jen when she was going live, and I knew Betty was live the whole time. So I was like trying to, stack it up a little bit. And like here I am catching all this crap on tape. I'm like, oh my gosh, I mean, like, so you're going to catch the things that are popping off and people will watch, but you don't need to do it in a dirty way. You don't need to be sleazy about it. Um, let's see. Sinfake says, bullshit. He doesn't have a mental illness. He knows what the hell he does. For example, the times he did fraud, you call the mental illness. Yeah, I call that a coward. No, I'm with you. I am so with you. Because here's the thing, even if somebody is mentally ill, that's not an excuse. I mean, you could say that very rarely they will say someone's not fit to stand trial. Even if they have mental illness, it doesn't matter. You know that you're not supposed to steal, right? That has nothing to do with your mental illness. I'm right there with you. And anytime I find myself feeling sorry for a narcissist, I remind myself that, they don't give a shit about nobody else, So, yeah. Shadow says, I love that channel. Good night, Witchy Mama. Aw, good night. Thank you for being here. Yeah, he went to, yeah, Dolly made a lot go into Nancy. Yeah, Guthrie's too. Yeah, I think anybody that covered it, right? But if you're going to do it in the right way, I know Dolly said something like, I wish a kid would go missing in Hawaii. And I was like, oh, geez. But anyway, all right, here we go.
That he's had his whole life, but at the same time, he knows that what he's doing is wrong. He definitely knows. And it's all about your intentions.
And if you know that this is just a general statement, but if you know you have issues like that, and you know that you need things to help you regulate, and then that's your responsibility to do that. And if you don't, then you're responsible for whatever happens when you're not regulated. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree.
Appreciate that. You said that Jonathan's mom was pretty awesome.
Oh my God, yes, I loved her. She was awesome. I spent a lot of time with her, and I'm not here to attack Jonathan or anything like that, but I can tell you that I would have lunch dates with his mom all the time, and we would talk, and she never had anything positive to say about him, and she would ask me all the time if I felt like all they did was enable him. And I remember on our last lunch date, she said to me, Angela, if things don't work out between you and Jonathan, I know it's because of him.
Wow. Season 52.
She said, I hate to tell you this because he's my son and it hurts me, but I cannot stand him.
Oh my God.
It's heartbreaking for both of them.
Okay, so why would his mom say that though? I'm saying it's heartbreaking. Like, I would feel sorry for somebody if their own mom is saying that. That is not nice, and that doesn't make somebody feel good. I get it, but why would his own mom say something like that? So definitely his mom's not enabling his behavior like old Chrissy Pissy Pants over there, right? She's not a Cruella. So yeah, that's alarming that his own mom is like, hey, he's not someone you're wanting to trifle with, right? Like, basically, run, girl, run, right? Imagine having to tell your child's significant other that they're a bad person, So unbelievable. So yeah, that's part of it.
It's very heartbreaking because, and actually he came from a very good family. I met both of his parents and I spent a lot of time with his mother. We would text all the time. She wanted things to work out.
I saw them. She was nice. Season 52. Let's meet here. Do you want to go to Walmart? I have these messages. I even have her number. Is she still alive?
Yes, I think so.
Wow.
He came from a really good family. He's just I don't know what's wrong with him. Maybe it's because
I never knew.
He's never had a job. Don't listen to him when he says he has a job. He's never had a job. He didn't finish high school, which I'm not knocking him for that. But I think the reason he didn't finish high school was because he was getting into trouble then. And you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Well, in that interview, he had said that he started the AOL stuff and some of the fraud stuff when he was in high school, junior high age. It was that interview, that video that you sent to me. They were in that big paint shop or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So it sounded. That's what I assumed is that was. And then he was 21 when he went in. Was it 21 to 35? I thought he said something like that.
Possibly. I know that he did time before. He did a lot of time. He's been in and out of prison and jail all of his life, which is very sad.
It is.
And I'm going to tell you guys, and I'm not saying this because I hate him or whatever, because I really don't hate him. He has mental issues. I understand that. But I don't think he's done going to prison.
Really?
Oh, he's definitely going to end up back there because he's just doing so much fucked up stuff still.
It's going to his head. I mean, I said it last week. It's going to his head. And when you don't know and you are in the dark, listen, I don't Google every person I go out to lunch with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I met him outside. Listen, thank you, sweets. Listen, I will not lie on him either. And I told you that, Cutsy. I told you that, Angela.
Right.
Listen, he's never made me feel uncomfortable. He's never been a dick to me. He hasn't been disrespectful. I don't fear him. And I think that's one of the reasons that he probably isn't very happy with me. But this is the thing. I was, like you, I believed in him. I tried with him. You gave him an opportunity, and so did I. Now, did I have sex with him? I didn't.
Me either. I'm not his type.
She's like, with the camera.
Love, trust me, you're not missing anything.
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm totally fine with it.
Wait a second. Angela, I wanted to ask, but I wanted to keep it classy. You're telling me he doesn't give the biggest dick down in the entire world?
No, not at all. I mean, unless he's changed now. You have to remember, I got with him when he...
I'm sorry. Molly's like, okay. Poll number 2. Do you think that JLR is capable of giving a D down? No, I'm just kidding. Wow. Okay, this is where it takes a little bit. This is where it gets interesting. We'll just say that. Not that it hasn't been action packed. I just think that right now it's funny because of Molly, one, because she's acting silly in the back, right? And then you got Angela, who, she's coming out of her shell a bit until they're like, well, I didn't have sex with him. And then everybody's like, yep, me neither. And she just goes whoop back into the shell. Right. No. Hey, again, hats off to her for talking about a relationship. That's not easy to do. You really have to be caring and want other people to learn from your story if you're willing to, put yourself out there, your vulnerability out there like that. So I appreciate her for doing that. And but this is where it gets pretty hilarious. My PTSD. Oh my gosh. And it's so funny. And then she, it's just kind of like, yeah, okay, so girl talk, sort of. Oh God.
He was right out of prison. So every time we'd have... I'm going to tell you something really fucking crazy about this guy.
That just means that he's quick, Marissa, just because it's been so long.
He just got out of jail.
He was really quick. Like, I would say,
out in society for a little while, and then you go get him. See, that's you gotta let him marinate.
I thought that after we were together for a little bit and he got in the routine of having sex, that he was able to last. But it was always the same for 2 fucking years. He would come so fast, guys. One time we were shopping and I said, we're going to get you some numbing spray.
No. Why is it that for days?
Oh my God. I really wish that there would have been a follow-up question here because this is so fucking funny. When I heard numbing spray, I was laughing so hard, and I think I texted you, Chuchi. I think I said, did she just say numbing cream and or spray? And we were like dying, right? Like we're both trying to watch it, so we're texting each other back and forth. Andrea, I was like, oh my gosh, this should have been a Discord watch party. Cinderella says love, love, love. Plug your ears. Okay, close your eyes, everyone. Earmuffs. Oh my gosh, it's awful. Oh, the answer is yes if your name is from Chip and Dale's. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I should have made a much better thumbnail tonight, but oh Lord, Lori. I mean, what are we gonna do, Scranton? Scranton says, wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. Yes, please, Devin. Only 21 and over right now. Oh my goodness. Too much, right? Night Court. Here we go. Only on Night Court could we review this.
People kept calling him. Go back to the chats. They were saying he's a 2-pump chump. I never heard that expression. I always called it a minute man.
You never heard that?
I
Where you been? You been to London, but you haven't heard two pump jump?
So long. I am so fucked out. I'm done. I'm so done. This guy, if he could have his way, I'd be bent over right now. I'd be hanging from the
If the
chandelier.
phone rings, tell him we're busy.
No, seriously. Wow. Okay. So it's just, was it always like that, and you thought that it would get better, and it didn't?
I did. Yes.
Wow.
Bummer.
You know, I mean, come on, guys. I'm like, you know, in your 40s.
Sorry. This part was so cute. They're like, so you thought it might get better? And she's like, well, I did. I don't want to call him the one pump jump. Like, I call it a one pump jump. I don't know about anybody else with a two pump. Maybe that person knew somebody who does two pump only, but I never. I have heard of a Minute Man, but damn, yeah. So there it is. Take it for what you will. I'm just. Her story matters, damn it. No, I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh. Chi-Chi says 2 pumps. Oh my god. I'm laughing so hard I can't even click on it. Chi-Chi says 2 pumps. Oh my lord. Buckle. Hey, I think that there was a couple parts that weren't played too, and like, you know, this is just too funny. So this was just a part 1 and part 2 that Molly put up. So if you want to watch the whole thing, she does have it in the members only. I highly recommend it. It's hilarious. I don't know how much your memberships are, or how much it is, but you know, it might be worth it to watch because it's quite hilarious, you know, and it's just we're listening to an ex, right? So I mean, it's just it is what it is, you know. So I wonder if he watches anything though. Like, does he watch stuff? Like, I guess he does, I suppose, because I have his thing. We'll go over it. I put it in the video here, but oh my god. You know, it's just crazy. It's crazy. I think a few guys Oh no. Hey, we're not trying to discourage anyone from But here's the thing though, you guys, is that like when we hear more about it, it's even more disturbing. Like there's one thing if you need some cream or spray or, you know, I've never even heard of numbing spray in my life. I've never heard of that. And she's so sweet. And she's like, "Okay, well, we can help you. Let's get you some let's get you some numbing spray." You know, she's so sweet. She wants to give him a couple pumps so he can pump a couple of times longer. Oh my god. 2 pumps for a hump faster than a super chat. And you would think if he's like doing a lot of stuff with these other people, I don't know, that he would be longer. It would make him last long. Or peace, love, and Jeeps, you officially killed me. She says Oragel. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, that. That's it. That's it. I have heard of that. One pump Willie. Cinderella. And Shadow says 1 pump Willie. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh, you guys are bad. That's too funny.
30s, in your 40s, you're like, okay, sex is not the most important thing in a relationship. So I really.
Well, see, I wasn't like that in my 40s. That's how I got my 5-year-old.
Good for you, girl.
Things you tell a minute man. Sexes and everything. We'll get you some Orajel. Oh no. Tam says my husband is trying to sleep and I'm laughing out loud in my bed and giggling. He keeps asking me what's so funny. Oh, I was dying. Oh, that's all I was hearing yesterday. You're being really loud. I'm like, I can't help it. This is the funniest thing I've seen in a while, in a minute. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Oh, she says, oh, just wait a minute. I can't. Oh my goodness, Tam, that's too funny. Marion. Oh, you guys, that's too funny.
We're just having fun over here. Like I said, Angela and Courtney and Jane, we all said, like, this is not supposed to be a hit piece. This is not supposed to be an attack. It's, guess what? Ta-da! Jonathan's actually straight.
Okay, that's where it's a little bit questionable, okay? Because
Okay, so now this is so funny. This is the second time in part 2. Part 1 was Molly's trying really hard. She's like, okay, Jonathan's straight, woo! And then wait a minute, Angela says, hold on. Wait, let me just share a little more with you before before we make that determination. Okay.
Well, we're just having fun over here. Like I said, Angela and Courtney and Jane, we all said, like, this is not supposed to be a hit piece. This is not supposed to be an attack. It's, guess what? Ta-da! Jonathan's actually straight.
okay, that's where it's a little bit questionable, okay? Because I have to tell you something, and he does seem to appear to love women. I think that's all a facade. He wants everybody. That's why he tries to get really cute girls. He wants to have them on the side while he makes YouTube videos and pictures and all of this stuff. But actually, in real life, Jonathan doesn't actually touch the pussy at all.
What?
He never touches it with his mouth, his fingers, nothing.
Shut up.
I swear to you.
I'm gonna need a minute.
Okay. Laugh, girl.
Okay. And I did not zoom in on Molly. She zoomed in on herself. And and I'll tell you too, when I was editing this video, I was about to crop it in, like, because I wanted to show you just her reaction. And here she fell out of the chair. She fell out of the chair and she and Joe, I know people can't help it. I'm not saying that. I know. No shade, okay? I'm just saying, but I guess there's numbing creams and sprays that can help. So she zooms in on herself and then she tells, what okay, I'm gonna calm it down. Okay, so what Angela says here is she's like, hey, look, he does seem to use a woman for a front, like where he's got a pretty girl on his arm and then he's doesn't like to touch or lick or anything. It's so immature of us, but it's funny as hell. And she goes, no, because he doesn't like to touch it. He doesn't like to, and wait, like this part is very creepy because I have never in my life experienced someone putting their shirt over their head. Like, to me, that is dehumanizing. That is creepy as fuck and unacceptable. Like, how are you gonna kiss somebody if your face is covered? And why would somebody want to cover someone's face? Like, shit. I'm just glad you guys are making me laugh. Yes, Viagra could work, Marion. That's true. That's true. Oh my gosh, but he's not that old. You have to be attracted for it to rise to the occasion, though, right? You have to, I mean, and this is the thing, he's with a very beautiful woman, right? I mean, and they're young. This is when they were young. And when you're young, like you're able to, do a lot. And then as you're older, you're like more experienced. But then she's thinking he was locked up. So he's, gonna maybe after it gets a little bit working together, on it. And, but if you're putting something over, okay, I won't spoil it, but Lord help us.
But it's true. I swear on my life, I'm not lying to you. He will not. It's like he's shy. I don't know if maybe it's because he was in prison. He'll put a shirt over his face, and the woman has to climb on top and do all the work. And then he comes in like less than 2 minutes, and it's done. He doesn't ever touch the vagina with his fingers, his mouth, nothing.
And puts a shirt over his face. He lies there, and you're supposed to climb up, ride him cowboy. Reverse cowgirl. I don't know. That's only 2 positions that you could even try to attempt. What the fuck? Seriously, every fucking time I gotta climb on top of you. You're not even gonna try to help or look at me? Like, what the heck is this? You don't want to kiss? You don't want to... What the fuck? What? Peace, love, and Jeeps. Seriously, what in the actual fuck is going on? Badass has ever seen the video of him blowing the Coke bottle? Okay, yes, I played that one, and I think they demonetized part of it. I can't seem to get an advertiser that wants to pay for that. And what's funny is that he makes JLR. Look at how much he's making. Like, this is why I'm getting a little jealous of JLR. Oh my God. Like, throw me a friggin' bone. I'm playing your boy over here. You've given him fucking endorsements, all kinds of shit. It's not my fault. He's in a compromising position that he put himself in. And I'm going to tell you what, Holly said it could take it could take one time of the shirt on the face, and it would be a wrap. It would be a wrap for me, she said. Oh shit. I know. Like, I would be wholly turned off by that. Could you imagine? Like, I'd be I'd be saying, what are you doing? Wait a minute, hold on. Hang on. What are you doing? Like, what you look like you're fucking sunbathing or something. You don't want to get too much fucking sun on yourself, on your face. You're just gonna, do you need me to go get you a fucking brown paper bag, or what is going on here? I mean, what's going on here? Oh yeah, badass. I also put another video out of him, the eggplant. With the eggplant. Oh, Jesus. Look at Molly now. Do you realize how many screenshots I have of Molly in my phone? It's so funny. She's getting up to Chris Proudfoot level. Oh, shit. Just all of her facial expressions were so hilarious during this, Just hilarious. Molly. She says it's creepy as hell. That's worse than doing all the work. Oh my God. Exactly. I mean, I could just picture him like Brenda said the suggestion and I would be out. Could you imagine though? Is like getting all comfortable, like put his I'd be like, what are you gonna do? How do you even know what he's doing under there? Is he imagining something else? Because that's what I would be thinking right off the bat. Like I'd be like, well, I know I'm pretty if I'm her, right? I'm Angela, and I'm going. I know I'm pretty. Like he doesn't want to look at me though. What the fuck? Like I'd be like, who's he? Who's he? Who else are you thinking about? That would cause an argument. It'd be over before it began. Let's just say that. We wouldn't make it to the numbing stage.
Are you trying to give me a fucking heart attack right now?
Do you remember me telling you remember what I told you what my dad told me last night? That reminds me of that, okay? And I'm not saying this is not against you, Angela. It's okay. My dad told me one time, it was a joke. He's like, you want to know the difference between a pretty girl and an ugly girl?
What?
And I said, what? He's like, a paper bag. So
you did say that.
So yeah.
You did.
And I don't mean because you are absolutely beautiful, Angela. But maybe.
Thank you, love. So are you.
And so is Jane. Jane.
I mean,
Jane,
you've got
are you
good
there?
taste in women.
Jane,
Lousy, you guys.
Can you hear us, Jane? I'm gonna have to get her to just call on the phone.
Or look at the bottom, Jane. There's a microphone and a camera picture.
Do you see that?
Click the microphone and it'll unmute you. I'm dying right now.
I know.
Oh my God.
I just smoke a cigarette.
Oh yes, totally. Totally. I am a big Joan Rivers fan, and she does have that accent too. Yeah, I mean it as a compliment too. Professional, she comes off as as professional. Scranton. Well, Andrea says talk about sexual frustration. Yeah, really. Oh my gosh. I mean, I couldn't handle that. I'd be like, what are you expecting here? And then she said he's just done really fast. Like, oh my gosh. And you're just sitting there like a fool and he's covered his face. Are you kidding me? I'd be like, no. Scranton says, I want to know what the body language and behavior experts would say about this hot mess. I'm waiting for them to weigh in. I need deception detective. Oh my gosh. I mean, if JLR gets that many people like throwing themselves at him, I wonder how many like legit someone like deception detective has, because he's smart, he's handsome. Oh my gosh. I bet you he's just fielding off all kinds of activity in the DMs. Interesting. I don't know why I thought about that. Probably because we're thinking about experts, but I'm like, wow. Because I just don't see it, especially with that. There's no feeling sorry for that. I'm feeling sorry for myself at that point. So you didn't touch me, you didn't kiss me, and then you've already finished? You're done? Suck a pencil.
Turn my camera off.
I need one too. I'm gonna pour a glass of wine also.
I'm definitely gonna be sending a message right now and say he's gonna kill me. If I'm dead in the next week, it's because of.
Because I'm gonna say that I did not expect this to go this way.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna ask her about the sex.
Well, I'm going to be honest, ladies. You ask me something, I'm going to tell you the truth, honestly. Just like I said, I wouldn't come in here. I'm not attacking him. I know he's got issues. I feel bad for him in some ways, but, and he never hit me. But I am telling you, he does have a really bad temper, and he throws tantrums like a child.
Like how?
And he's threatened to physically do things to me. But he never actually went through with them. Probably because he knew I was going to beat that fucking ass. First of all. Secondly. Look
at Molly. Yeah, girl. Holly S says, Lady Freedom, when he first got with Magnolia, he was wearing large crosses around his neck. I remember that. I thought how nice he's getting his life together. And now I'm wondering if he's just trying to play the part. I think so. Yeah, because I think he was probably trying to make Magnolia think that she snagged a good guy, right? Like it's part of the love bombing thing, And Joe says, Lady Freedom, JLR is also strange in that he never smiles or laughs. Some guys are like that, but Never, huh? Oh, yeah. I just kind of thought he was taking himself seriously. Like, you know what I mean? Like he was trying to be professional, keep it. But if he's doing all this stuff behind the scenes and trolling the victims and their families, like that's another level of sickness, right? Because I mean, that's what these people who are committing these crimes are doing. That's why it's so scary, you know? But now that you're saying like he doesn't really show emotions like smile or laugh, ooh, that's creepy. Yeah, it's all about him. Yeah, and listen about the tantrums, right, Brenda? Like, oh my God, you don't like my content? Oh, like what the hell? What if somebody's trying to give you constructive criticism? You know, a wham bam, thank you, ma'am. That's right, vulgar. She says, wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Oh man, I mean, literally, because she did all the work. It's like, what the fudge? And then he's not even, I mean, weird. Ugh. Yeah, what a weirdo. Oh, three main traits to a cult leader. He checks every box. They're great scammers. Well, and that's kind of it is a kind of like a cult like following, right? Because like a lot of people will get upset and be like, white knight for JLR. And, I mean, look, I can understand if someone's saying something bad about me and it's not true, I would be hurt if somebody didn't say, well, Lady Freedom's not like that. I mean, I can't lie, I'm a person too. But in the same way, like I don't need people to do that much or be hateful towards other people or go in there and be like, and start a problem in somebody else's chat. Like, yeah, but I think he expects that, and that is a cult like following. Um, Holly says, okay, that sounds just like Jay. Oh, Jane sounds like Jay. Hmm. Okay, so here's the thing. Like they were trying, this is one part that I don't think made it into her cut, but Jay is for Justice has name dropped JLR many, many times and said that he is a dear friend of hers and let me text him real quick and stuff like that. So I'm not buying that part, respectfully. I'm not trying to throw shade because I only really will review people that I like mostly or agree with mostly because it's, to me, it's stupid to just tear somebody up if I really don't like them, or something like that. It's boring to me, right? But I mean, like, I would rather find good content for you guys to, examine. But with that part of it, I was like, no, she's name dropped JLR several times. We all live in Florida here, so I mean, we're not all really very far from each other. Um, I think they were definitely friends. So her downplaying her relationship with JLR, I can't get down with that. So, I don't know. Like, I don't think I remember hearing that. Lori says, yeah, I heard that too. So I had no idea that happened with Frankie. I didn't either, Holly. I was like so shocked. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's terrible." Like who would do that? Holly says I had no idea that happened with Frankie. That is extremely disturbing that JLR did that. I know. Yeah, it is. I mean, I think that's a really big takeaway. That I didn't add in the end because in the end it was kind of more like a joke and, putting out like the different statements that the girls had said, right? But that part was highly disturbing and also, trolling Frankie when he was very vulnerable. And, I always thought Frankie was so cute, and then like, I don't know, that's very disturbing. And why would you add insult to injury just to make yourself feel good? And then he's using ex-girlfriend's pictures to do that. Like, I mean, that's again, wasn't he in trouble for like identity theft? So he's taking that girl's identity and using it against Frankie and like, hey, baby, like, let me see you or whatever. I don't even know how but see, he's pretending like he's the girl. And then he's trolling Frankie and having like hot and heavy conversations with him, obviously, that lead to a photo being shared or photos being shared. This is my question now. Did he have photos of his ex-girlfriend in his phone that he was sending to Frankie and getting Frankie all hot to send him a picture of himself? Oh my God. You know? I mean, I know, I don't know if he's inbred or not. No, she says he comes from Andrew or Angela, excuse me, was saying that he comes from a nice family. Like his mom and dad are nice people and they talked. One of his trolls tonight said that he wanted to kick my ass. So some guy wanted to kick someone's ass, defend someone he never met and watches the internet. Yeah, that's cultish. I'll say people do I think it's beyond white knighting. Like we need another higher term for it. Is cultish is it? Because it's like, why would you do something like that? Especially if you don't know, and especially if all this stuff is coming out. Wouldn't that turn you off? But then again, birds of a feather, So my dad said that an expert is a drip under pressure. That's funny, Marion. Marion says Shadow says he was on one of the first one, or he was one of the first ones on the Idaho 4 too. Oh, let's not forget all the crap he did there. Oh my gosh. See, I don't know all that. Shadow, that's interesting. Feel free to share if you guys know things. I mean, allegedly is, we got to use allegedly, or in my opinion, but I mean, we're all used to that. So, like, wow, because that's horrific to think that he did that to Frankie. Like, yeah, yeah, absolutely. And again, using someone else's image, does that girl know that that was done? I mean, even so, JL needs to hook up. I don't know who he's hooking up with, but it sounds like he's got a lot of action going on. I mean, and not a lot of follow through. All right, I'm gonna I'm gonna go back to this.
He had a pending case going on at the time, and I told him, I said, when he did get in my face one time, and said, you know what, I'll call the police, and if I call the police, you have a pending case going on, you're definitely going to fucking prison. You don't want to fuck with me. So that calmed him down.
Jane? Oh, yes, we can hear you.
Yep. Yes. All right.
How are you?
I'm good. I was just like really struggling. I had to go through and like play with settings and do all this stuff.
We can totally hear you now. And I let them know that you're like, you got a house, you got a husband, you got kids, you got a good life, and that you wanted your identity safe, and you got that here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Angela's up here, and so is Courtney. Courtney is like she's like my share to Bono, Sonny Bono, and I'm the Sonny Bono, and she's the share. So we kind of.
I wish I was share.
So Jane, you were with Jonathan before Angela, so that was after he got out of prison.
Yeah, it was like almost right after. Yeah.
How'd you meet him?
It was funny. He was actually in a halfway house, like out of prison, and he was online, and like I just thought he looked interesting and entertaining. And it's funny because people said that like he preyed on me, but I'm the one who approached him.
Really?
Yeah, I started just sending him messages, and like he didn't have all like the videos and everything as much as he does now.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had like really weird pages going on, and a few of them were like of his ex Naomi.
Okay, guys, so this is where it gets a little bit more in depth into like this possessive type obsessive behavior that we see in people who are ultimately abusive, or that have these abusive tendencies. Whether it's any form, right? Because it takes on many forms. It's just basically to control and berate someone, make them feel less than, because you're so insecure with your own self, right? So that part. But Jane was like, hey, I approached him about a relationship. I saw him on the internet. He seemed interesting, right? He had some videos, but he was also trolling, right? And then he was also under multiple accounts, and one of them having to do with his wife, Naomi, right? Where it seems like he never got over Naomi and was obsessed with her and still very possessive over her. And this is part of the dynamic that we see in DV situations and in partner, you know, I always forget what they call it, but I think it's just like, intimate partner violence. because that exists, right? Because many times we're not married to people that are doing this.
What did you think of all that?
It was weird. Like, I would confront him and be like, you are like still really obsessed with her, and he would just get mad, like have a little kid.
You look a lot like his two exes. Did you guys notice that you all kind of look alike?
Yeah, I've somebody
you're thin, tiny, right?
I had 3 people say that I reminded them of Magnolia. Like,
that's
that
what I said. Yeah.
Yeah. And I found out about like all that's happening now because an old friend reached out and they're like, I have to tell you something. And they were so apologetic to me. But I was like, well, I will say he never put his hands on me. It doesn't mean that he may not ever have. But he was still in his ways, like them narcissistic behaviors, and everything always had to be about him.
So right before you came in, Angela said that he threw tantrums.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with that? And what would set him off?
Basically, like anything that wasn't what he wanted. Like if you didn't give him the attention he wanted, or you didn't like his idea, or if you were jealous because, and like because he's talking to all these girls, or at least you think so. Yeah, he would create a lot of fake pages and log into them and like comment on his own stuff with these fake pages and like have whole conversations with them.
Okay, guys. So again, he has all of these accounts and he's conversating with himself under different accounts. So that really, in my opinion, screws with his credibility when we're taking screenshots from one of his Facebook pages because we don't know if that's him or someone else or a regular person that's writing that. And he's doing that in these cases, and that's interference, right? Because what if I see something that he posted and I screenshot it and send it to law enforcement as a lead, but it really isn't a lead? And we heard from the New York Post that he takes pride in doing that. So just what Jane just said, and this is girls that was with him years ago. This isn't a new relationship and all of a sudden he's doing this. He's been scamming forever. Right? I mean, and he's going to keep on doing it. In my opinion. Nothing's going to slow him down unless he gets in trouble for any of this, right? I mean, and he goes back to prison for a while, but what is he going to do when he gets out? This is his way of life. This is what he does. So it's interesting, Lori, and I can't believe. I mean, it makes me rethink everything. Like, where did I get these screenshots from in Sebastian's case that he was saying this stuff? Or, you know what I'm saying? It definitely screws with his credibility, his integrity, all of that.
But it was him on both pages.
Yes, he did do that a lot.
When I only had like 5 subscribers, like I thought about doing that, but I didn't. But I did think about it. But I thought that would take. But I'm lazy, and I was like, that would take way too much time. I mean, I'm an only child. I'm used to talking to myself.
I feel like I wish.
Hey guys, I have never, just to put it out there, I have never thought about doing that. You know what I think about doing is working hard. Hello? So all you need to do is keep putting out content, right? Stuff that people will want to watch and try to engage your audience. I've never thought for 1 minute, oh, you know what I should do is deceive and trick people and subscribe to myself under 50 different accounts and get 50 subscribers and then go in there and fuck around. Anybody that says they're going to do something like that is questionable in my opinion. I mean, it's just crazy. Aw, thank you, Vulgar. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, no. I mean, and it would be exhausting. That's another, I mean, it's a good point that Cutsy's making here. I mean, it would be exhausting for one. Plus, it's weird. Like, and then I don't even know. That is so bizarre to me. But, people will enjoy the genuine content, I think, Vulgar, Um, He gives me Terry Lynn vibes. Holly, oh my gosh. I'm just like, goodness sakes. I mean, you would make way better content if you would put your time towards that.
Got a bottle of tequila and just did a round of shots for everybody here and in the chat.
Oh
Like,
man,
this is like
the girls' night out.
I mean, but Jane is saying that she was never hit by him. Did he ever threaten you, Jane?
He didn't. No.
Oh, okay. How long were you together?
Maybe like a year.
Okay.
Yeah, it
A
was
year?
like 9 months to a year.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I would go on like his little outings with him, and he would get me like encouraging his troll behavior. Like he showed up to some Islams for a Trump, like dressed up like in Muslim garb.
Wow.
Yeah, he would do things like that. Because this was before the 2016 election, because he was all about Trump, and yeah, he was doing like all this silly stuff. And if I didn't encourage it or go along with it, then it was like I didn't care, or I was jealous of him, But I mean, I don't even know how to like get on Restream, so I'm clearly not about like trying to have stuff public.
Okay, guys, and I just want to point this out too. Like, this is weird that he's using the girls to do this, right? Like, if they don't want to participate, oh, well, you're just jealous of me and my great show. And I mean, could you imagine how narcissistic and conceited and like gross that would be? It would be a major turnoff. And then at the end of the day, he wants to lay there with a fucking shirt on top of his head and make you do all the work too. Like, he wants to work you on his channel. I mean, come on. This is too much for anybody to deal with, And Lori, thank you so much. Lori says that's why you have the best YouTube channel, lady. Oh, you're so sweet, Lori. Thank you. And thank you, Devin. I try. And I mean, I'm not saying that it's not a lot of work to go on the road. I'm not saying that it's not a lot of work to pretend like you're a bunch of different people and engaging and all of that. But wow, it's crazy. Yeah, duplicate accounts on Facebook could also be him. Yeah, creating extra streaming revenue, allegedly, in my opinion. Jackie, it makes me wonder. Like, I mean, wow. That kind of blew my mind, and I didn't really even put it together until she said it, and then I'm like, okay, well, what about this and that? Same thing with the Frankie Rusek thing. Like, as we're talking about it, I'm thinking, how did he pull that off? Right? Because it's not easy to catfish somebody, especially not like a young guy. Like, and maybe he was more vulnerable. Obviously, he was, but I mean, or um susceptible to something like that, right? Because when you're vulnerable, you are. But yeah, it makes you wonder. Yeah, Sebastian's case is when I started following him too, Holly. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just the truth, right, Lori? And the thing that's is so different about YouTube, which is so nice, is that like mainstream media, they do sugarcoat a lot of stuff. And they do kind of hide details, and they're like, well, we can't really show this or that. And YouTubers can be more like bold and brazen about bringing information. And I would always hope that people would be truthful and more so than the media. I mean, there's nothing that made me turned off to mainstream media more than what they did with Gypsy Rose's case or what we saw in Sebastian's case on America's Most Wanted. I mean, that was like, wow, I would never work for a big media outlet if that's the case. We saw how Nick Barris flipped, right? But he's got to keep his job. He's got to pay his bills. He's got a family, he's got pugs. So, I mean, how the F is some sort of Casanova, I don't know. I'm not seeing it, Devin. I'm not seeing it, you know? I know he mentioned it on camera in Arizona. Really, Jackie? Wow. He's proud of it. Like he was bragging about it and boasting about it in the New York Times interview. Like, they were, I guess they looked over their archives or something. So he has dozens of accounts on social media. Nerdy posted the list. Oh, he did? Oh my gosh. See, I'm way behind. Way behind. Wow. See, and those are the things that we need to look out for, right? We've talked a lot about troll accounts and things on here just because I didn't realize people did that so frequently. But it sounds like JLR is like the master of it.
No, we get it because listen, Courtney was like, you have to vet the fuck out of these girls, and I'm like, no, like they're decent. I go, and they're not like trying to go on any sort of attack or slander him. They're not coming up to say, oh, like he's gonna beat you or anything like that. Like we actually talked about that.
We had a long discussion about that.
We had a nice discussion because, like I said, there will be no hit piece. There will be no hit piece. There will be no setup. It's almost like it's sad that something like this happened, but the good thing is that girl could have died.
Yeah.
That girl could have died. And I really think that if he didn't head back to that airport, that she was going to forgive him. I really feel.
He didn't go back to the airport. He left for Florida.
I agree with that because I think that what happened was the reason why. I'm so sorry, Cutsy. I don't mean to talk over you.
No, go ahead.
I really think that the reason that she spent the entire night and she didn't call the police was because she was contemplating on whether she was going to call them or not.
Okay, so this part I would have to agree with completely because what actually happened transpired on Christmas Eve, and Magnolia called in on Christmas morning. So I think she was not only recovering from possibly even being knocked out from a blow that she received, but I think also she was contemplating whether or not to call. Because here's the thing, as this is unfolding, Plunder has been putting out calls that she FOIA'd, right? And it's 911 dispatch, it's police interactions, right? Where Magnolia is going back and reporting JLR for other instances and other incidents that have happened, right? Like one that just came out yesterday from August. I mean, I got off my live an hour before that Plunder posts it, right? And I click on it, I'm like, oh my God. And I was like, so this is an incident that happened in August, right? Of 2025, I believe. But again, she's almost retroactively reporting him. And I think that this was the last straw. This was the one that broke the camel's back. And if you've ever been in Magnolia's position, then you understand that you don't want to get your abuser in trouble, but you want it to stop. And then at a certain point, you want accountability because you realize that you've given this person chance after chance after chance after chance. And maybe her receiving what she did from JLR, none of us were there. We don't know exactly what happened. But maybe that set her over the edge to be like, look, I've taken this shit from you one too many times, and now I want you to suffer the consequences of your actions, right? But again, it's scary. He left. She doesn't know if he's coming back. She doesn't know if he's going to barge back in the door, how upset he's going to be when he gets back, any of that kind of stuff. So I think she might have been waiting also till the coast was clear, till she felt more comfortable. And plus, they're not at home when this happens. They were all the way up in Washington at like an Airbnb or like a hotel. So Jackie, thank you so much, Jackie. I appreciate you being here. So, I do. I think that that's a big part of it, Chuchi agrees. Lori says, yeah. I mean, so I hope that they don't try to hold that against her, because I think many of us understand that what she was doing, you have to muster up some courage for, and you're also you know, there can be a fear factor, there can be a lot of emotions, there could just be, you know, she's in shock, she's wounded, you know, and my heart just goes out to her, and I'm very proud of her for coming forward when she did and getting out of it, because I agree also that if she didn't, that she could have ended up losing her life over it. And someone like JLR, with what we're finding out about him, he wouldn't bat an eyelash and he would try to cover it up, you know? And he doesn't owe it to me because I don't watch him. And when I was subscribed, I didn't even realize I was still subscribed. But the people that give him money and watch him day after day and white knight for him, I think they deserve an explanation, right? And I think Magnolia deserves the validation. And I think that he should apologize, but he's trying to, you know, he's got a lawyer, and so he's not going to do that, right? Because then he'd be admitting guilt. And so I understand that side of the coin as well. And he might be watching this live under another account and in the bushes. You know, you never know, Marion. And again, you know, I don't hate anyone, but I think that these women deserve to be heard. They really do. You know, and I'm not afraid. I mean, he's not gonna get anything out of me that he doesn't already have. He's got a hell of a lot more fucking money than I do. He ain't gonna get shit, you know, and I'm sure he knows that. I mean, I'm a small channel. But you know, just the fact that he's not taking accountability is disappointing in my opinion, you know? So, oh, are you going live about it? Badass, that's cool. Yeah, I'll have to join in. We might not have a YouTube. Pay attention to your surroundings, people. Yeah, no kidding. Well, I agree with that too. Yeah. Yeah. Um that's funny. Um yeah, so I mean all of this I think is interesting and important, and I do believe, again, I do believe these girls too, and I do think it's authentic. I do think they're trying to be genuine. I think they're trying to be very truthful about their own experience. They're not just saying, oh yeah, me too, he did that, yeah, me too, me too. No, they're saying like, okay, this was my experience, right? And it's similar to what you went through but not the same, or you know, he never put hands on me. And both of these girls have been with him for a substantial amount of time. Jane says it was a year, 9 months to a year, right? So, interesting. Yeah, he's not denying it. He's not denying it, you know, and I kind of almost thought, okay, if he comes out and tries to speak about it, then that might gain him some credibility. But if he doesn't, then he must be a coward. Because why wouldn't you? You know, I do too, Holly. I do believe them because they're not trying to. I don't know what they're calling it, a hit piece or whatever. I don't really know what that means other than, you know, you're just trying to, you know, attack someone. But no, I mean, I think they're just being honest about their experience. So
Said that too. That what and thinking about the repercussions if she does. Because this isn't me calling the cops on somebody in my private home.
Yeah.
This is her calling the cops on somebody that is literally known internationally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
she had to weigh it. She had to weigh it, and
I lost friends and had people go after me when I went through my thing, and that was just a couple people. I can't imagine having the entire internet deciding on your fate, basically, when it comes to something like this, you know?
I waited till the next day after I heard the 911 call, and I was just like, wait, I mean, like I do listen. Like I listen like I'm a cop. I listen like I'm a lawyer. I listen like I'm a judge. And then I listen like I'm on a jury. Like imagine being on the jury and you want to be fair to him and you want to be fair to her. And you're like, well, this is the evidence. And it all makes sense because you can hear in her voice where she goes, I don't even know if I'm calling the right place because she was stranded. She did not want to have the attention of the nose.
Yeah. Well, because when it happens over and over, you actually.
I will rewind what Cutsy's gonna say, but I agree here as well, right? Like she's weighing it out. Are people going to believe me? Are they going to attack me for coming forward? There's a huge stigma attached to it, right? Anytime, even on a small level when it's not someone that's well known. So she's definitely weighing everything out. Um, and Holly, it is disturbing that, one of the girls didn't even realize that he had already abused her by pushing her and threatening to throw hot coffee on her. I know, exactly. Exactly. I mean, that is absolutely abusive behavior to the max, right? I mean, it is. And um it is very sad that somebody would even have to think that someone wouldn't believe them or that they would get attacked for telling the truth or outing someone just because somebody else likes them or, wants to, you know, white knight for them. So really, really crazy, right? Just horrible. Hold on one second. Let me just back it up a little bit.
Want to be fair to her, and you're like, well, this is the evidence, and it all makes sense because you can hear in her voice where she goes, I don't even know if I'm calling the right place because she was stranded. She did not want to have the attention of the nose.
Oh, and also right here, I forgot to mention. So, yeah, like she didn't want the attention, and obviously it took her months to come out. I mean, it took her months to come out with this. This all happened December of last year, Christmas time. And then we just were now hearing about it, for the last week and a half maybe. So, I mean, she definitely wasn't, again, like most victims don't want to rock the boat. They're afraid to. They don't know if they should, right? They don't know if it's worth it. It's scary. And then he was also threatening to take her life if she told, you know? Devin says Ephesians 6:11, put on the full armor of God. Isaiah 6:8, here I am, God, send me and fear not. We got this. That's right. Exactly. And hey, only by the grace of God. I mean, that's it. And when you've been in a situation like this, that's what you do. You got to get on those knees and pray because a lot of the times these people are so scary and they're telling you exactly what they planned on doing, you know. Um, yeah, she said nothing for months, nothing. And, I was wondering at first why she left her Facebook the way she did, but then I was like, hey, if she was to start taking stuff down of JLRs, that would make everybody question her. So she left it as it was, right? And hadn't posted for a couple months. For I think it was like the one post was like 3 months ago, 4 months ago, and she left it that way because she knew the minute that anybody would see that and be like, "Oh my god, they broke up or something," or people would start buzzing about it and chatting about it, and yeah, I mean, she said nothing for months, and someone else dug the info up, and then she came out of hiding to confirm. Yeah, absolutely. And I think she was probably waiting for it to come to light, and maybe she was hoping that they might skate under the radar, but I'm glad that she came forward because there's no reason why she should have to do that alone. Um, and I'm glad she gave us an update and everything like that. So, yeah, she's still on social media, Brad. Yeah. Yeah, and Jane does resemble her a lot. A lot, a lot.
Yeah. Well, because when it happens over and over, it almost becomes normal to you, and I think, and yeah, it's just embarrassing. She kind of downplayed it, but when you hear about what the police officer said, and I'm sure that with anything that's coming out, we know that there's people that are going to FOIA all this stuff.
Yeah.
If there's, especially with the RO, she had to prove injury.
Mm-hmm.
You have to prove that what you say in those documents is true. So I imagine she did hand in medical documentation. It was in the police report that she signed the waiver of HIPAA rights so that they could have access to those medical reports. So
Right, and there were like 5 cops that arrived on the scene that all saw it, right, witnessed it. Also, she sought out medical attention right away, so that's all documented. Everything is documented, and again, they do normalize it. I agree with Cutsy here. It seems like, you know, a new normal almost. You're just used to it. You get used to it. You're surviving. You're in survival mode, and it's extremely difficult. So yeah, and I do believe that um, in Magnolia's case, she just had enough is enough, and it just was so bad this time, you know. But let's not forget that she reported that 2 dozen times he had, you know, used force on her neck, restricting her airway, right? And I have to put it like that for YouTube, but we all know what happens, right? And again, if you've ever had that happen, there are some very, very horrible things that happen when that is done to a person, right? When somebody does that, and they could pass away, but even after that, blood vessels that are broken in their eyes, things like that, where you have to lie to people. You have to be like, oh, you know, figure out a reason to cover it up, because you can't hide that most of the time. The bruising, things like that. I mean, it's terrifying. And to know that she put up with that and dealt with it and survived it, she's a warrior, in my opinion. And I'm glad she got away. I had no idea her brother was following for weeks, watching my posts on JLR. Oh, wow. Aw. I think that it's awesome that she has family that supports her and stands by her, because again, it does um it's hard. These people are manipulative, and so sometimes people don't even believe it when it happens. Like, "Oh, I know he's a good guy," you know, and stand by the abuser instead of the victim, you know? Yeah, thank God they didn't have any kids. Exactly, Brad, or any of these ladies. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Thank you, Chuchi. Jackie and all the people following, streaming him was a win-win situation. Yeah, exactly, Jackie. As they may be seen as being complicit and obligated, etc., allegedly, in my opinion. Yeah, I think so too. You know, and that's the thing. I mean, we don't know. So it is a shock. I mean, some of the things are believable knowing what we know, but yeah, and I think a lot of people were trying to tell people, like even with Dietz's video, Dietz on the Streets did the video, and I mean, it's really in depth as well. Undeniable.
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know if Marissa told you or not, but I started out when I found all this out. I woke up that morning, I saw all the news about it, and I got up and was trying to disprove it, because I thought that this was just smoke and mirrors because of the stuff that was happening with some other creators, and they wanted to, you know, make it about someone else instead of them. And but I am a fact finder, and the more, and so I took everything that I saw people posting online, and I went right to the resource. I went right to that police department, that county, that state, and I looked and found the documents myself and read them and was like, oh my gosh, you know, I was sick to my stomach.
Same here. We did the same thing, right, Chuchi? That whole day we were looking up documents, right? We were going over Nerdy was posting things, but we were going and looking up the case number and all of that ourselves, right? Because I was like, "Oh my gosh, we got to do a live about this." You know, once we gathered all of that information, we were going over it. I mean, there was no way I wasn't going to stand up for Magnolia. No way. It doesn't I don't it doesn't matter whether I like her, she's my friend, nothing. Nothing. It doesn't matter, right? She's another woman and she needs support. So, and then also it's just again, it's baffling and it's something that needs to be brought to light, you know, because it seems like Jonathan Lee Riches has hurt a lot of people and he's gotten away with hurting people for a very long time in all kinds of different ways. He's hurt people purposely. It's not like, oh, I didn't mean to do something and I hurt someone, because all of us have done that, right? I mean, sometimes you don't mean to and you do hurt someone's feelings and you apologize or whatever. But it's not that. Like, he is absolutely prideful and boastful about hurting other people, and he loves getting over on other people. And that, in my opinion, can't be tolerated, especially in a space where people are vulnerable. It's so wrong. Like, I had no idea what he did in Sandy Hook. No idea. Badass says people do not research him, and he only says he went to prison, but not for what. And then well, I thought it was the suing stuff because I knew about his book or whatever. Blindly repeat, though. Yeah, it is. It's turning a blind eye, right? We can't. He has changed BS with no proof of it, and that is a big part of the problem. I agree with that. I agree with that because I think there's a lot of people, we talked about the Pollyannas of the planet, right? Um, and they do. They're like, "Oh, well, he's a good boy now." No, he's not. Obviously, he's not stopped. He's continued on and on with the same shit over and over and over again. And just keeps hurting people as it's like, a jar of hearts, just collecting them. Brad says, there needs to be a protest by JLR's house. No justice is done. Hey, that's how he would do anybody else. So, I can't travel for that, Brad, but, um, no, I mean, I think that he deserves to be in trouble for what he's done. I really do. I think that he needs to be held accountable. So, um, no, Brad, I'm not. I'm not. No, because he can't sue me for anything. What is he going to sue me for? I mean, what, he wants royalties off my channel, but I don't make that much. You know what I mean? Like, I talk about a hustle, I mean, that's why I do 2 lives a day, because it does. That's the way to build your channel and work hard at it, right? But and post videos and stuff. But um no, I'm not worried about that, Brad. No, I'm not, because I think that, me, he probably barely even knows who I am, if he knows who I am, right? But in the same way, is he going to be happy with some of the things I have to say about it? Probably not. Um, no, because I razzed him a little bit about the gay thing, and I mean, but no, I'm a small fry. I'm a little fish in a big pond. So no, I don't think so. No. And I think, well, that's another thing too, is that he was looked at as a litigious. I always want to say facetious or litigious. I don't know why, but vexatious is the word. Litigant, right? So he was deemed that by the courts, and they even took his pen and paper in jail because he was trying to sue everybody. And I mean, there's one that I posted from X, and he tried to sue the Ghostbusters. So, but no, the courts have recognized him to be problematic and overzealous in his attempts to sue people and even weird objects like the Eiffel Tower. So, um oh, she did? Oh, really? Oh, go Molly. I was wondering because, I remember other stuff from last night. And, I had a couple peanut butter whiskeys, and so I'm like, there's no way that I just conjured that up, though. Did I dream that that happened? No, I'm just kidding. I knew there was some more info. Cool, Chuchi, that's awesome. We'll have to get it edited and put it in. Um, yeah, because I don't know the exact, like, times for I hate reviewing people just, like, flat off the bat because I don't know. But yeah, we will do that. We'll do a part 3. Um, that's okay. I've been doxed to shit. Badass. I have, so I'm not worried about it. I mean, I'm just me. Like, if people wanna know where I live, that's creepy as hell, but honestly, I mean, I don't have anything to hide. So it is what it is, you know. I mean, but yeah, I've had a lot of crazy issues with that. We'll just say that. Nuh-uh, Jackie. You say he sued himself? Oh my god. Oh jeez. Really? His followers swatted someone? Oh my god. That is weird. Devin, it was good. I never tried it before. It was like this little squirrel on it. I don't know. It was cute, but it was very good. Somebody posted something online and was making like PB&J shots or whatever. So yeah, and they reuse peanut butter whiskey. I'm like, that's interesting, and they're really good.
Because I did not know about all of the other stuff. I thought we were dealing with somebody that had just committed white collar crimes, and I thought, okay, you're in your 20s, you do something stupid to make some money. Okay, he's turned a new leaf around. That's what he said, and this is not turning a new leaf. Well, it isn't. If he hasn't, it's a new avenue, but it's not a good one for sure.
Oh no, girl. He hasn't changed, and what he does behind the scenes is like really scary.
Like what?
He doxes people behind the scenes. He looks up their families. He'll use fake profiles to do all of this stuff.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he's really bad. Oh, and the one thing I wanted to mention too is that when Jonathan committed that the money fraud, the wire fraud thing, he gave his parents $45,000 of that money. And then when he got caught, he turned in his own parents. He turned on them. And I know you've been doing your research, Cutsy. I could tell. So you probably saw on the BOP website that they were both in federal prison for a little bit. And that's because he ratted on them.
Yeah. Because
wow, he ratted his own parents out. Okay. Oh my god. Wow. Because I've heard that like people be like, oh, he sued his parents, right? But I never heard he ratted them out. Holy crap. And imagine he gives his parents $40,000 and then he gets caught and rats them out. What the hell? Is there no loyalty? Like, I mean, wow. That's crazy. That is crazy. I'm so sorry, badass. He doxed me and his followers are stupid, so they didn't even see the info if they could have used it. Oh my gosh. See, I mean, I understand researching, right? Because that's how we understand, right? Like even any of the cases, the missing cases, I've looked up, people's Facebook pages and okay, let's see. Like if I would have never looked on, for example, Kathy Bowersox's page, I would have never realized that they like went to Disney and didn't take all the grandkids. Only took some of the grandkids, left Sebastian out, right? So, I mean, but I'm not trying to put all of this information out like that, I'm not like, "Oh, look, this is her house. Go to her house, do this, no, because that's not okay. Um, that's where you can get the restraining order and stuff. When people do that, that's when you can take action because they're going real life, right, on you like that. Um, yeah, because some people are unhinged and they're like, "Oh, I'll do it for you." Like it's weird and like sometimes he doesn't even probably have to ask. Some people are just batshit crazy, crazier than shit. And they'll enjoy, yes, Igor, I mean, it's ridiculous. That's how his ex-wife Naomi went to jail. She was a part of that scam. Oh, really? Yeah, he's a scumbum for sure. Yeah, Brad. He's a dork, says Devin. I don't understand his influence. Well, and like I said, I think the big allure is because he goes to the scene. He goes to the scene and, he's peeping the scene. He's letting everybody else peep the scene. He'll take requests on things. Can you zoom in over here? Can so I do understand that part of it, but to go to the lengths that he's going, it's one thing to try to find understanding. It's a different thing to be trying to hurt people. That's really weird to me. Understanding someone is different than wanting to like just troll them. Like No. I wouldn't try to contact somebody and act like someone else and all that. That is overboard.
It's gonna set them up, and then
He called me in the middle of the night saying that I don't even know if he should speak about this because it's too unbelievable. People are going to think we're lying.
yeah,
It's true.
I mean, it's just.
Have you ever met the parents, Jane?
I was just going to say his own mother warned me about him.
Oh.
She told me, she's like, you're so sweet, you're so nice. She's like, you know, you're too good for him. He's bad news. And she warned me, and I didn't listen. Until I was like at my breaking point. I was like a pretty big alcoholic. I was drinking a lot. Okay. And I began.
Well, you'd have to be.
People found out like that I was like seeing him, and a lot of people didn't like it. And there may or may not have been some people from my family who began to harass him, and he like freaked out. And he told me I was an alcoholic and blah, blah, blah. And then like, you know what? I did get help after that. And I've been sober since. It's almost been 10 years.
Congratulations.
Like, that was like something good I got out of it, I guess you could say.
You said that. That was the first thing you said.
Mm-hmm.
You said, I'm grateful to him. If it wasn't for him, I don't know if I would have been sober. He helped with my sobriety. That's one of the first things that you said.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's funny? I saw a page that he had created not long after I got out of rehab. And it was like, he was poking fun at Alcoholics Anonymous. And it was like, I forget exactly what it was, but it was like a page poking fun at Alcoholics Anonymous. And I think it's because I had gotten sober and this was right after. And it like really didn't bother me, but I'm like, he's so like
petty.
Yeah.
It was just try to sue Alcoholics Anonymous.
Right.
Yeah.
Remind me, I have a story about suing Alcoholics Anonymous to tell you later privately. That just reminds.
Okay, so yeah, Lori, amen. When a mom warns you, you better be listening, right? She's trying to help you out. She's like, hey girl, you're sweet, you're nice, you're too good for my son. Oh my God, run, right? But the level of depravity, and I can't even say it's like a grudge because it's beyond a grudge, right? But like, okay, so he told her, look, you're drinking way too much, like you're an alcoholic, like you need to quit or whatever. So she decided, and this is where you could tell that this is a good-hearted woman and that she does listen when, it's important, things like that. And she says, yeah, okay, I am drinking a lot, right? But a lot of the times too, alcoholism will creep up on a person that is in heavy trauma because it numbs you, right? So you're feeling like okay about the situation. You sleep, you might be passed out, but you're sleeping, right? And also when you take a beating from a man and you're a woman, it helps you take it. So I think it's awesome that she went and got help, but then the level of depravity it would take for someone to turn around and make a page that was mocking Alcoholics Anonymous. It helps people look, not my cup of tea. I think it could be dangerous for people because, there's all types of different people that are in there. I'm not going to get off on a tangent about that, but it helps a lot of people. And for him to mock that, knowing that she took that step forward and got clean off of it and that she decided to become sober off of that, like, to me, that just shows the level that he, how low can you go, right? Instead of being like, because I'm here to tell you, it sounds to me like he was just trying to take her weakness, one of her vices, something that wasn't, pleasant about her, and use it against her as a weapon. He wasn't really trying to help her, in my opinion. I think she's a good-hearted woman, and so she looks at it like that because it saved her life and she's clean now. But in my opinion, he was using it against her because it's the only fucking thing he had against her, in my opinion. And then he turns around and does that. Right? So again, it just shows how low character he really is. Because I would be happy because if I told my ex and I said to him, you're an alcoholic, you have a problem, right? And then they went and got better. I don't care if it's 10 years down the road and I see them, I'm going to congratulate them and say, I'm so glad that you got sober, because I would be coming from a place of, I don't want to see you hurt yourself. I don't want to see you, take your own life or ruin your life or hurt someone else or whatever the case may be. But make no mistake about it, in my opinion, that's not what his goal was. Like Lori says, when mom warns you, you better listen. And that's why his mom was warning her, I think. Oh, and Angela too.
I'll tell you, I didn't know that he tried to sue the Special Olympics.
Yeah.
I saw a Melly video last night that was sent to me by one of the mods. Sarah Adams found this video, and I played it very early this morning, and I was losing it. I was losing my shit over this video. And it was everybody that he was suing. I mean, how do you sue Christina Applegate? He sued Al Qaeda. He sued
Plymouth Rock.
There's so much more, and there's so much more.
Okay, so here is the post, the X post. And JLR says, yes, no one on this planet has sued more people than me. Sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. Losses are still wins. I've filed over 5,000 lawsuits in my lifetime. Wrote a book on it. He did. I am about to sue some YouTubers too. Not you, though. I like you. He says to this Robbie Hair guy. I'm not sure who Robbie is, right? But he said, I like you, so I'm not going to sue you, right? He sued Elvis. Oh my God, Andrea. Oh, I thought I had something when I was going to tell you guys about the Ghostbusters. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Oh my goodness. So this was the post he's replying to. I genuinely can't believe what I'm reading. At JLR, so he tags him, at JLR investigates has sued American Idol, Daniel Day-Lewis. Oh my God. Daniel Day-Lewis and the Ghostbusters. Right? And then he pulls up the papers. He got the papers, and this is what JLR says. He said, yeah, no one else has sued more people than me. And he wins and he loses, but if he loses, he looks at it as a win. Hey, Liberty. And then he says, he goes, I wrote a book on it. He goes, and I'm about to sue some YouTubers too, but not you, because I like you. So, I mean, if he likes you, he's not going to sue you. I mean, I would think it would just matter if he was going to get money out of you or not just because he doesn't like you, he's going to sue you. Anyway, that's what he wrote. Liberty says it looks like this matter in Washington state isn't going to go forward. It's being said that there's not probable cause. It's because neither of them live in Washington nor pay taxes there. Wow. So I wondered about that because, well, they were on vacation. I mean, I don't even know. I would call it more of a work trip than vacation, right? Because obviously they were there for Travis Decker's case. Yeah. I mean, he was never arrested for it. I don't know. It's weird that they would allow for him to flee the scene. I don't know. I think we're just going to have to see how it all plays out. And do you go to your home state if you are on the road and something like this occurs, and then you take them to court in your home state? Does it stick, right? Because the court date set for April 21st, 2026 in Arkansas, is to the best of my knowledge. So, but yeah, Liberty, that's why I'm setting up the expectations, because I don't want people to feel completely let down, right? Over his sideburns? What? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. He sued Elvis, claiming he stole his sideburns. He's just a hunk of burning scum. That's a good one, badass. That's funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, please. Was JLR alive when Elvis was doing his thing? Oh my gosh. How strange is that? That was that was a good one. Someone the other day was telling me Trump is Elvis. Oh, Lord, Devin, who's don't believe him. Oh my gosh. Trump is an Elvis. Oh Lord. No, he does Trump has the comb over, not the sideburns.
I mean, when it kept going, I mean, he went after Pop Tarts. He went after
Well, they're bad for you. I
Fruit
mean,
Loops.
you know.
Thank you, Melly. That's the girl. That's the one. Holy crap! Her name is Melly, and she was reading it. She had glasses. Oh my god! I didn't. There's
Where?
a mod in
Oh,
here.
there, duh. Right in
That's
front of your
her.
face.
There's
All
a
over my
mod
face.
in here, and she sent me this shit. Adrian was still in bed, and I'm like playing it, and Adrian goes, "This is the funniest shit I have ever heard." And I had it on 2.0, and she's just sitting there, and she's like, the things. Oh, he claimed that he was a model. He was a model. He was a model. Yes, he was a model.
Oh, me too.
Oh yeah, yeah, right.
All of us, we were. If he could be a model, we could all definitely model.
Yeah, sure.
And I mean, who the things that were in this? I mean, he was going after everything you could possibly imagine, to a point where she was like, what? But then the more she went on, it got to a point where you knew that he was trolling and he was laughing while he was writing. He also claims that he could write up lawsuits while he's riding a bike, simultaneously riding a bike and writing a lawsuit. So I'm sitting there saying, you know what? From what I remember of Jonathan, he's laughing because he did that a lot. Like if he was entertained, he'd be like, did I ever see him lose it? Never. I never saw him lose it, like hysterically laughing. I've never seen him like that. I just always seen him like chuckle and giggle, and that's a lot. Because you know what it's like to be around me, right? I say shit, I do shit, and it's always funny. Like and it's just natural for me. So people are usually like, ah. Well, sitting next to him for 10 hours, driving the car, I was like this the whole time. Hello? And he'd go, yeah. And I'd be like, what are you doing? And he'd be like, I'm driving. And I'd be like, there was no.
Yeah, I could have been like that in the car. See?
Maybe these girls know what I'm talking about. Like, it was so mute that I was like,
no kindness, he wasn't.
Yeah, I wasn't stimulated at all. And the only time I got a reaction out of him was when he was like, Don, come on, Molly, get excited. And I go, I don't wanna. We're gonna see Don. We're gonna see Don, like that. And I'm like, no, we're not. And he's like, oh, today's the day, Molly. Come on, you gotta come on. And I was like, and guess what? That was the day that we had the meeting. Don Wells, Candace, me, when I was running in the orange with a nut and freaking out. He's not confrontational. Have you ever seen him get into arguments with other dudes?
No, I think he's scared of other dudes.
No, I think he's scared of other dudes, she said. Oh my gosh. So now I can totally see this. I can hear JLR and see him doing it when Molly's doing this, right? Don, we're going to see Don. Like, oh my gosh, I can see it and hear it, right? Like, I would not be excited to go meet Don Wells. No, I'd be afraid that I would assault Don Wells, right? That's what I would be afraid of. I would be going, if you see me get a little froggy, hold me back, is what I'd be telling JLR. If he's telling me, oh, wait till we see Don, I'll be like, you better watch me. You better keep your eyes on me, buddy, because I'm here to tell you. I might assault this man if he says some messed up shit about that little girl, right? But this is what she's referring to, and there was like this whole confrontation, which, you know, is interesting in and of itself, you know. Yeah, thank you so much for doing the math too, badass, because I was like, wait a minute, isn't he born in the 60s? And wait a minute, when did Elvis pass away? And like, I'm like thinking, you know, well, we all know JLR don't get stimulated. Maybe he's overstimulated. Choo-choo. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Oh, when did Plunder just put those out, Liberty? she's been pumping out information like crazy. And I'll tell you what, guys, for Patreons, I got rid of a lot of my subscriptions because when I went traveling, right? Because again, it's expensive and I don't make that much. But I got rid of all my stuff, right? Plunder was one that I was subscribed to her Patreon. She gives great information, guys. All the facts, all the FOIAs, $7.99 a month, I believe it was. Well worth it. Well worth it. So absolutely big shout out to Plunder. She does a great job. She's fact based. She keeps it real. So that's right. Exactly. Exactly, Marion. That's funny. She says real dudes don't put their hands on dudettes. That's right. That's right. Exactly. And I mean, the thing is like when you're in a relationship, it's tough. It's one of those things where things can get heated. There can be a disagreement, an argument, or whatever, but it's never an excuse to put hands on each other. Never. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It's an issue because neither one of them live in Washington State, and they will not pay to extradite him for DV. Ugh, they do. Yeah, like that's the way an RO works too. They both have one against each other, right? So there was an RO granted for 3 years. So you can't violate that either way. So it's not like if I have an RO against somebody and they don't have anything against me type of a thing, I still can't contact them or anything like that, right? Because then I would be violating it. Because what's the point? You're going to tell one party not to contact the other, but the other's contacting, even though they said they're scared of them and all this, right? And it's also to protect, right, the victim because it's very difficult, So yeah, the matter will be dropped and just left at that because there are not taxpayers in Washington. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out, Liberty. Yeah, because I didn't see it badass either. Wow. And I've been really trying to pay attention to Plunder because she's, like I said, she's been pumping out a lot of info, which is helpful, I mean, we need to get better understanding. So, um, Devin, I do. I have Cash App and Venmo. Let me grab them really quick, and then we'll watch this little part. But thank you, Devin. That's sweet of you. Um, yeah. So he does not like to go to the bar and pick out the biggest guy to take out his frustrations. He'd rather take it out on a female, allegedly, from what we're hearing. Okay, that's the end. All right. So, what do we learn about JLR? Too pump chump, right? Too quick in the sheets, right? That's what the title was of the video. Doesn't like to even touch girl parts, is what they've alleged. Makes the woman do all the work in the sack, but also puts his shirt over his head or a shirt on his head, on his face. Uses women as a front because he is most likely into guys, allegedly. Big time troll and tragedy pimp. His mom warns his girlfriends, right? Is what we basically learned from this installment of Lady Freedom and Molly and JLR's exes. All right. And we didn't get to see who Jane was. She wanted to remain anonymous, which I understand that. She's got a family and all of that. Okay, so that's the end. All right, great, guys. And, I mean, that's what has transpired as far as JLR's exes. Now, Naomi, I suppose she is not in the best shape. Sorry, that was right. I guess she's not in the best shape to speak on any of this because she herself has a lot of issues. But my heart goes out to her. I hope that, she has taken time to heal from what she went through. You know, yeah, see, the police report definitely has probable cause. Um, Yeah, I wonder, and that's the thing. I mean, I wonder about with them having the ROs, if that's going to be, I mean, I don't know. And I don't know if you could retroactively report abuse. I mean, I've never tried to do that. You know, I know that the state can pick up charges and then you have to go and be a witness. Mm. Thank you, Chuchi. Thank you, thank you. Chuchi, could you drop my Cash App and Venmo? Devin was asking about buying me a coffee, and that's so sweet of him. Um, I don't keep my links on hand. I need to. But I appreciate you guys doing that. Absolutely. Um, so yeah, that was that was a lot tonight. I'm glad that there was humor involved because again, I really think these two women are super brave for coming forward. I think that, you can take some power back when you're able to have a candid discussion and even poke fun at someone who hurts you, right? There's a lot of power that can be taken back and it can help heal, right? So I think that it was a very, very good live. Just really hilarious. And, I think the women on the panel were trying to, um, lift up the girls that were up there. And I love seeing that because as women, we need to do that for each other, right? We really do. We don't need to be at odds or feel like we're in competition, right? So, yeah, I mean, I think the statute of limitations would come in, Brenda. Yeah, I was thinking that too, you know? So, yeah, I mean, I would think that I'm just worried that she's not going to get the kind of justice that she deserves, and I do want to set up that expectation because I don't know how it's going to work. Crazy Bird, good to see you. No worries, no worries. I know. Well, I wanted to go over this because I thought it was very interesting, you know, um, as it pertained to, speaking to people's exes. Um, again, they were standing up for Magnolia, I think. So I don't think they had any ill intentions. They even tried to minimize the situation themselves, which I thought was giving him a lot of grace, so hopefully it doesn't upset him too badly. Aw, how cute. Oh, that's so sweet of you, Crazy Bird. DAs decide if the case goes to court based on their probable cause. Yeah, I mean, I wonder about the tax paying thing. I'm going to have to look at that post too, you know? And I mean, they have to follow the letter of the law. And the thing is that it's too bad that they don't take the DV more seriously because it almost makes it like why should I even tell? Like what's the point? You know what I mean? Like why should I even tell if he's not even gonna get in trouble for it? And here I am sitting here vulnerable and embarrassed, yet he's walking scot-free and he'll never address it. You know? That's the hell of it. That's the hell of it. That's the risk we take. And I think that in this case, though, the fact that it's public knowledge, people do forget quickly. But I think that just the fact that she's told her story is going to help so many people, right? So, they both. So he got an RO against her, Liberty? How the hell did he get an RO against her? What? I thought you just meant, because You know, I mean, if you have an RO against somebody, then you can't break that RO either. You're held to the same terms of the restraining order. Devin, thank you so much. And we appreciate our guys here. We do. We want your feedback, you know, because it's going to be a different point of view. You know, I love hearing dads come out and talk. It's really important. I know. I know. Yeah. Well, that's why we try really hard to not to like bash men, you know, because and also it's important to understand that we all as human beings go through this, right? This can happen to a man absolutely. It does all the time. That's a good state to live in if you're an offender. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, they're not as tough on crime, I'm guessing there, you know? Oh, the court date would just be for their lawyers? I'm glad that she has a lawyer then. Because typically, when you're in that position, you don't, I mean, I didn't have a lawyer ever. The state stood up for me. I'm wondering since it happened in Washington and they didn't find JLR and he's back in Florida, don't think they can get him charged. Yeah, he won't show for court, so it goes back to Washington. They can arrest. Yeah, I mean, that is, to my understanding, it doesn't seem like they're pursuing charges. It's going to end up settled with them both having the ROs and then dropped. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I could definitely see that. That's why, you know, I wanted people to understand that that could be an outcome, you know, and then if people are kind of looking to see if he still has people supporting him, you know, he is. He's going to, unfortunately. But you know, that's up to them. But it does come down to money. They aren't going to spend the money to pursue it, and it's a lot to get somebody back to the area, you know. Oh, Florida is considering charges for something back in September when he called the cops because he hit her, or when she called the cops because he hit her. Oh, okay, I didn't know about that one. Something was back in August. Oh my gosh, so shit was just popping off left and right. I know, that's weird. I didn't know just their lawyer. I know. Like again, I've never had a lawyer to go for me for that. Um, I think more will come out as well, Holly. Definitely. Definitely. No, he's never been charged. Mm-mm. No, he's not formally charged with anything. Nope, Liberty is not. No, he's not. And you know, they didn't catch him. He like fled the scene and then yeah, he exactly badass. He fled the scene, fled Washington, and then they never got him, you know? So yeah, you have to be arrested and charged, right? Yeah. And he should have been. I mean, I don't know. He was telling Magnolia something about being 100 miles away. I don't know if he actually was or where he was, you know. He just left her stranded, no car. Poor dear. Ugh. And they are not going to spend the money to do it. I don't think so either. I think if they were going to do it, they would do it, right? They would have already done it. If Washington could get him and arrest, then yes. But since they didn't have him, all they can do, uh, if he didn't show to the court, would be a warrant. Yeah, so like if he gets pulled over or something, but he'd have to go back to the area, I'd imagine. Right, exactly. It was escalating. I hope she stays away from him. I think she will. I do. I think she will, Brenda. I think she already has a new guy, and he looked very handsome in my opinion. So I hope that that works out for her. I wish all these women all the best. You know, I don't like it when I see people fall. You know, I want to give them a hand. You know, I do. I don't like it. I don't like to even have to report this, you know, because again, I've used JLR's content. I've, you know, seen some things that were questionable. I didn't like how he went after Seth. No. But in the same way, I do try to remain objective in a certain way because I know that I'm more protective of Seth, right? I've met him in person, never met JLR. And so, you know, I mean, it's a little bit different. So I try to say, okay, you know, I have to be neutral in a situation, right? Because I understand there's a bit of a bias there. Um, so yeah, I mean, I try to stay neutral. We'll just say that. Yeah, Jackie, I mean, he's not he's not stupid, right? So, he's not stupid. And I hope that the more that comes out, I hope that he does get what he deserves, you know? Because I don't like to see something happen and then no accountability. So, Holly says, I do question how I was fooled because I really thought he had turned his life around. Well, I think we all want to believe it though, Holly. It's just that we're good people. And a lot of us, you know, have learned from our mistakes. And so we give the benefit of the doubt to people. We do, you know, so I don't even think you were fooled. I think it was more that it's like, okay, well, now he's out there, boots on the ground, working hard because we do see him working, you know, it's not like he's always at home or, you know, I mean, he's trying. And so we see that and we're like, oh, okay, he's actually doing it, right? And then that can kind of skew our view on things. And then behind the scenes, this is what he's doing, which is sad because, you know, he's blowing it for himself because he can really, like, look, if people are willing to give him that type of money to be on the scene and doing what he loves to do, why would he do anything else? Or why would he do something to jeopardize it? You know, that's what gets me. I'm like, I'm thinking he's such a fool, you know? I'm like, oh my gosh, because if you have that many people who trust you and believe in your cause and you're willing to let them all down like that, you know, and like all these sweet ladies and they're like, oh, JLR is really working for these people and turned around and do something like that. I don't know. I don't know. You guys are getting heated in the chat. Hey, it's good to debate these things. And it's important to, you know, also keep our expectations where they need to be. We also have to remember that this is still unfolding. So the more information that's coming out, the more we're going to, you know, understand it. I'm going to try to get some of Plunder's calls in, right? Because she's posted a lot of stuff, but I can see you guys are interested in this topic. So we'll definitely talk about it more, you know? So I'm not sure if we're going to do a live on Devlin on Tuesday at 2, but I think that we might be still on. Again, there was a horrific car accident tonight. Well, yesterday now. And Sabrina's boyfriend Will did not make it through that car accident. So I'm not sure if they're going to be, you know, if Tamara is going to be able to make it or if she's going to be doing something else, you know, with her daughter, you know, with Sabrina. So, but we are still going to be doing a live stream about Devlin too, coming up on the year mark of him being missing. Because I think it's important for us to look at other options too and see if maybe we can't figure out what could have happened. I mean, again, he was off camera in the morning all day and then his phone pings at the trailer park at night. It's quite the mystery and you know, it's something that I really want to pick your guys' brains about. I want you guys to give me some feedback. I do want to try to do like tomorrow. I'm going to try and go live on Facebook and Kick because I can multi-stream it from here. So maybe we'll give that a try. tomorrow. So, well, and going to a grand jury is something that is interesting. I wonder how they're going to try. I wonder how this is going to pan out, guys. I really do. I wonder how this is all going to fall, you know. So let's keep an eye out and keep the conversation going about DV. It's important. It's something that, many women and men have lost their lives over it. And, we need to do better. We really do, you know? Yeah, Jackie, I agree. I doubt if he knows who he is, and that's a sad place to be. Yeah, and I mean, if his own mom is saying bad things about him, I mean, I'm sure he knows that that can really hurt a person, you know? So, well, I'm hoping that he gets in trouble for it. Badass. I do. I really do. And I appreciate you being here and giving us all this information too. There's a lot that a lot of us didn't know about. And again, I just cannot believe what he did to Frankie Rusek. That really got my heart. I was like, oh my gosh. And then also just knowing, ugh, just knowing how cruel and everything that went along with all of that was absolutely bonkers. Crazy Bird says the grand jury can put charges on someone and then they will be arrested and on trial. I hope that there is justice. I just hope that Magnolia feels like whatever the outcome is that she did the right thing and that he was held accountable. Because for me, I think she deserves vindication. I think she deserves the validation, and I understand all of us are hungry for justice. And, um, I just hope that this builds more awareness and I hope that it inspires, some change. So, well, I love you guys all so very, very much. Thank you for being with me today. Thank you for talking about this really tough subject and laughing with laughing along with all of us. And it was quite comical for a while. Took the edge off of the situation. Again, big shout out to Molly for doing the live stream and just you know just having a little bit of lightheartedness with such a tough subject, and if you are in an abusive relationship, thank you, Holly. Get out. There's a way to make a plan. 1-800-799-7233, or you could text the word begin to 88788. You could also live chat with someone about a plan. Enough is enough. You need to get out. You need to get healthy, get back to who you were before they took who you were, right? And they made you think that you weren't good enough. So, and if people are saying horrible words to you or making you feel bad about yourself, that's abuse. Somebody pushes you up against a wall, that's abuse. Somebody breaks your things, takes your keys, your phone, that's abuse. I mean, anybody that dogs you isn't worth your time, right? So, you know, call a trusted friend, give them the overnight bag, right, with all your personal and important things, and make a plan. It's the most dangerous time when you're trying to get out, you know? So, thank you, Lori. Thank you, Liberty. Yeah, and I mean, it's just um so sad what's happened, but I think some really good things are going to come out of it, and especially it's sparking up a conversation that a lot of people don't want us to have, right? So um let's talk about it. It's important. All right, guys, you all take care and I will see you tomorrow.